Be a nice discussion this evening. It really is very helpful, very informative, right? We're going to be speaking about manipulation as always. Well, wait. First things first. Hello. Peace, beautiful souls. For those of you who are just getting to know me, my name is Venus, a goddess. I am a self-mastery not relationship. Deal with relationships, but I'm a self-mastery mentor and solutionist. I teach all things self-mastery, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, energetically. So what you can master your life, and so others won't master it for you. So as many times as I scroll through TikTok doing my research and education and different things like that, Marcus, how are you, love? Right, I'm seeing so many of us being led astray. Right, there's so many of us being led astray. There's so many of us that are being manipulated. Right. And I am simply here to remind you not only who you are, remind you of the tactics that right? All of the manipulators, all of the wicked ones, which I call them, we already know who they are. All of the system, all of the individuals pushing systematic dogma, right? I want to remind you to be aware. Awareness is key in everything. And so we're going to be speaking about manipulation because there's so many of us consuming such low vibrational, such toxic energy, right? And some of it saddens me. Some of it also is extremely sickening. Stephanie, how are you, my love? Vincent, how are you, my love? Right, and it's extremely sickening. And so we're going to be speaking about manipulation this evening, especially emotional manipulation. Marie, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. We're going to be speaking about manipulation, right? How many of us understand that there are so many of us being manipulated, or we're actually doing the manipulation, if we're completely honest, right? So let's be completely honest with ourselves. Being transparently honest is so crucial, right? Because until you understand the why, until you be honest with yourself, transparently honest with yourself, it's one thing to think you're fooling others, right, by the mask that you wear. And it's nothing unrighteous or unnatural about wearing masks, because we all play many different roles. I understand that, right? However, if you're not transparently honest with yourself, you will never change your behaviors, right? And in a world where there are so many of us wanting more, we want to elevate mentally, we want to elevate spiritually, we want to elevate financially, like we want to forge healthy dynamics, healthy relationships, we want to forge healthy dynamics romantically, and all of these different things. Lamont, how are you? Fred, how are you? And so we're going to be speaking about manipulation. Something that I have to keep in mind when I am doing my external research, as far as getting a better idea of the situations and the issues that a lot of you are having, right? And a lot of it is being expressed. The amount of conversations that I'm hearing, not that I engage with them, but the amount of conversations that I'm hearing, the questions that I'm hearing, it's like some of these things it literally baffles me, right? It literally baffles me how some of us, right? I ain't even gonna say some of us, I'm being polite with that, right? How many of us are or have become desensitized to being treated poorly. We even have become desensitized to treating ourselves poorly. Like, many of us are accepting of such poor behaviors from so many different people, yet we're putting on this persona like we really about that life, that emotional mastery life, that spiritual mastery life, right? And there are so many people just being deceived. And a lot of us, we want this quick fix, like this microwave mentality that we have. And so I want to come and just remind you, just do my part, right? I want to do my part in just giving you the tips, the tools, the practices, the information that is already within you. Right. But to remind you that a lot of us are playing an extremely dangerous game. We're consuming a lot of information that is really hurting us, right? Hi, Keishwell, how are you, love? Hey, gorgeous. Hi, James, how are you? Yes, with our condition to accept less, yes. But then, and we're finding ourselves repeating the same conversations over and over, the same stories over and over. And so sometimes when I come up here and I give a lesson on like emotional intelligence, emotional mastery, all of the different pillars of self mastery, and I'm like, Venus, okay, first of all, I'm gaining new supporters, right? New individuals are being attracted to me to gain information. So a lot of times you'll hear me repeat certain things, right? Because sometimes our reminders need reminders, right? If you are an infinite being, if you are a soul being, I know a lot of us say human being, but we are not the same. Wink, wink. A lot. If you are an infinite being, right? You in this, you have to at some point gain the understanding that you are not like the others. You really aren't, right? And what you consume, you become. There is always going to be divine laws and principles that are set in place. And a lot of us are engaging. Messiah, how are you, my love? A lot of us are engaging in such unhealthy, foolish, toxic conversations. It's annoying. It's not only annoying, it's frustrating, it's sickening. However, for some, it's extremely sad. You know how when you watching a movie that you've seen already and you talking to the movie and you like, no, 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 don't go around that corner because the person is there, right? The intruder is there. And we yelling at the TV like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, right? Or if you are a parent and you're guiding your child to be righteous, right? To be honorable and have integrity. And y'all know we gonna do what we do. We have our experiences, right? And so I understand that. However, what you cannot say is that you never heard the information, right? You never had or will have a choice to do better. Understanding that there are always universal laws, galactic laws that are in place. And a lot of us have not an ounce or a clue as to the shit y'all about to get into. Y'all really don't know. And a lot of y'all really don't want that type of smoke. Tawanda, thank you so much for the follow. Judy, thank you so much for the follow, right? And so in a society where we have so many individuals who are manipulating, especially emotionally manipulating others for their self-serving reasons. And a lot of us don't even know we're being manipulated. Some of us may do, but far too many of us don't. And so I want to share some helpful tips, right, with you so you will be able to be more aware when someone that you invited into your space, into your realm, is attempting to manipulate you, especially emotionally, for self-serving reasons. To remind you that you do deserve better. You do deserve greater. However, you only get according to what you give. So you may deserve all the most beautiful things in the world. You may deserve to have people in your life that's going to respect you, honor you, right? Infinitely love you. Perspective is everything. I understand we have different perspectives of love. But if you want all of these things, you first need to understand that you get what you are. You don't get what you want. Everything is vibration. And so it saddens me when I hear certain misguided, misinformed, self-proclaimed, unstudied individuals. And these are some of our coaches. These are some of our mentors. These are some of our quote unquote celebrities, entertainers. These are people who are misguided and unlearned, teaching things that they should not be teaching, furthering the agendas that was never set up for our good, that have been set up to destroy us, and that's it. Understand, until you learn self-mastery, how to master self, you will continually be mastered by people, places, and things. It cannot always be fun and games, beautiful people. It just cannot. A lot of us are putting ourselves in an energetic alignment because emotions are energy. A lot of us are putting ourselves in energetic alignment, making ourselves susceptible to being a target for unrighteous, unjust manipulators, right? Let me put a clause out there. On the flip side, the type of manipulation I'm speaking about as far as this conversation goes, right, is unright, unjust, because there is a such thing as energy manipulation, right? You have to also understand that we are dual beings, infinite beings. We are both light and dark, both feminine, masculine. I'm not talking about pink and blue. I'm not talking about being soft, assertive, or passive. I'm speaking about energy. Everything is energy. And a lot of these self-proclaimed gurus are manipulating you. A lot of these coaches are manipulating you for self-serving reasons. And if you never take the time to actually sit back with yourself, to redefine, one, who you are, redefine, two, what you want, three, redefine why it is that you want what you want. Gather your roses. Hey, my love, how are you, beautiful? It's so good to see you. Hey, Paul, how are you, love? Right? And so let me take a sip of water. Let's get into it. Because some of these individuals, baby, if I'm being transparently honest, pardon me, some of these individuals I straight want to go into spiritual warrior mode with. Because it's sickening to me how many men and women are out there that are manipulating you for self-serving purposes. So what's emotional manipulation, since we're speaking about manipulation, right? Emotional manipulation is when individuals intentionally seek to control your mind, right? To persuade you to fulfilling their goals. Individuals who intentionally plays on your emotions, right? Intentionally attempts to sway and persuade you energetically to satisfy their personal goals. And as many of us say, we know what manipulation is. We talk about manipulation, right? And I always say, knowing something and experiencing something is a big difference. Different experiences. Knowing something and experiencing something is very different. I done personally coached hundreds of men and women. So many of them had identity disassociation. So many of them didn't even hear the foolishness that was coming out of their mouths. And I'm like, do you even hear yourself? How do you respect yourself, but then allow someone to disrespect you? How do you say you love yourself and you allow others to manipulate you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, making you second guess your gut, your intuition? Thank you so much. Pardon me, I just got a phone call. I forgot to mute my calls. Can you all hear me? Let's do a sound check real quick. I'm glad to see you too. I missed you as well. Hey, my love, guess what? I guess I can put this out there real quick for you. I am going to be relaunching Rise of a Goddess Academy for women March 2024. So all of you ladies who have been asking me about the academy, I am relaunching. Tawana, thank you so much for the follow. I'm relaunching Rise of a Goddess Academy March 3/3/2024, which is equivalent to number 3. Powerful number, understanding wisdom. Yeah, Paradox, how are you, my love? Yeah, I don't think we understand this, which is why which is why I always make it a priority in my teachings and say that I'm just reminding you. Because if you are an infinite being and if your mental is intact, we experience and I don't want to say average, but a healthy mind, I'll say that. A healthy mind experiences 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day. Per day. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And 80% of those thoughts are from past experiences. 80% of those thoughts lives in the subconscious, the lower level, right? The control center. That's your control center. That's your motherboard. I always say it's your thoughts that leads to your emotions leads to your feelings leads to your actions, and your actions leads to your what? Results. And many of us, if we were honest, receipts don't lie. Life receipts don't lie. A lot of us are miserable still, broken, confused, bitch, moan, and complain about shit that we're putting ourselves in, especially being manipulated, right? So what is one? So the first tip I'm going to give you to recognize people who are manipulating you if you're easily manipulated. Because manipulators, skillful master manipulators, baby, some of y'all are sticking out like a sore thumb. That's why I got that picture up there. That's why I have that image up there. Subliminal messages are incredibly important. Understand that everything I do, I do it for very meticulous, intentional reasons. Just like I have the two sphinx on the two sides, representing the Gemini twins, representing righteousness, which no soul can pass unless they have the prerequisites to them. Awareness is absolutely key if you want to change the trajectory in your life. Yes, paradox. Master manipulators smell insecure individuals. It's like insecure, and I'm not going to get to because I'm going to be telling, going ahead of myself, right? But master manipulators can smell you from a mile away. Yes, Taylor, how are you, my love? Gemini gang. Master manipulators can smell you from a mile away. And some of us, like I said, I'll say it again, have become so desensitized to people treating us with poor behaviors. We make all types of excuses and justifications as to why we're allowing these treatments, why we are allowing them to treat us in certain ways that is unbecoming, unbefitting of someone that is righteous and just, someone that is operating within integrity, righteous morals and values, while simultaneously speaking like they're really about that life. And you have no clue. You have no clue the shit you getting yourself into. You have no clue of what's coming to you. Because if you think every single decision and action you take, regardless of the reasons you take them, regardless of the reasons you make them, no matter how small, no matter how grand, there will be an energetic exchange. Every signal you put into the universe, i.e. your thoughts, whether you're just inwardly expressing them or verbally expressing them, is going to be the signal. Every signal you put out means that you're going to attract the very same thing. And we hear this all the time like we think it's a joke. However, it's really not. Because if you ever sat down for more than 10 minutes and be completely transparently honest with yourself, you will realize that perhaps you're one of those yellow men up top, an easy target. So one of the first things you need to be aware of if you're being manipulated or if you are the one doing the manipulation, right? Guilt tripping. Be aware of men and women who come into your life on any level, whether it's romantic, whether it's platonic, whether it's business, no matter what type of relationship, a friendship, a sexual ship, right? A romantic ship, a family ship, partnership, no matter what type of ship it is, be aware of manipulative people and tactics. And this is with all things. Why do you think marketing is a gazillion dollar industry? A $1 trillion industry? Yeah, well, paradox, whether it's a courtship, it don't matter. Any form of relationship. And I want y'all to also understand, I'm going to say this. I am speaking of manipulation for this evening's topic and discussion in an unrighteous, unjust, self-centered, self-serving way. Because depending on where you're coming from with manipulation, because a part of your mission while you're in this realm is to learn how to manipulate energy. However, with that, I speak in terms of all things righteous. So I want you to understand the two spectrums of it, the two sides of it, not just one side, because your perception helps shapes your reality, your internal world and your external world. So I also want you to understand both spectrums, the polarities and the dualities. I need you to also understand that. But we're speaking of manipulation in a sense, because manipulation is manipulation, right? Is being able to manipulate and sway and persuade, right? elements, energy. And since everything is energy, you can also manipulate people because people is energy. You can also manipulate things. Things is energy, elements, atoms, right? This is alchemy. I'm speaking of alchemy. So I want you to understand, to gain a higher perspective, that manipulation isn't something that is always going to be in an unrighteous form and manner. But for the sake of this evening's conversation, I'm speaking about it in an unjust way. I'm speaking about individuals who, baby, who make it their goal and their job to go around manipulating individuals. And I want you to be aware that a lot of you are doing yourself a disservice. A lot of you are hurting yourselves mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, energetically. A lot of you are hurting the same individuals who you say you love, the same souls who you say you love, you care about, you'll give a lung or a kidney or a leg to. So a lot of these things, this is why I teach self-mastery. I want to teach y'all the psychology behind what you do, why you do it, and especially who you are. Because until you understand the psychology, one who controls the mind controls the body. What do I mean? Whoever controls your dominant mental program, your motherboard, your database, controls your actions. So when we're speaking about manifesting, when we're speaking about attracting, when we're speaking about forging healthy relationships, when we're speaking about shadow work, when we're speaking about doing inner work and healing and all of these different things, when we speak about changing your behaviors, when we speak about getting different results, you have to understand, until you understand the core and the catalyst of these things, you're gonna continually run on that hamster wheel. You're gonna continually be on a perpetual cycle, doing the same things over and over and over again. How many of us have found ourselves in the same place or similar places in our life, month after month, year after year? And some of us are still wondering, why am I here? Why do it seem like I'm taking every 3 steps forward I'm also being pulled 10 steps backwards? Like, we got to get real with ourselves. A lot of y'all ain't really about the life that y'all talking about. All of this gender warring, this back and forth, and who's the leader and who's not the leader, who's superior and who's not superior, right? Whose fault it is, whose fault it isn't. We're still talking about race. We're still talking about gender. We're still talking about age gaps. We're still talking about single parents. We're still talking about single parent homes. We're still talking about all of these things, but the things you're supposed to be talking about. These things are also people manipulating you. What do you think that these hosts are doing, that these individuals are doing that are hosting these lives? What do you think they're doing? They're manipulating you. They are manipulating your energy. How many times have you found either yourself or I know for sure, if it wasn't you, you have witnessed and listened to the arguing and the bitching going back and forth, in a degrading, in a demeaning. If you can lower your vibration, if you react in such a negative way, if you're arguing back and forth with someone, guess what's happening? Both of you are being manipulated in an unjust way. And both of your vibrations are getting lower and lower and lower. And if you think that there is no energy exchange that's going on, you are sadly mistaken. Every time you lower your vibration, your mind, right, it's not always that your mind doesn't always control your body, but your brain releases chemicals. Adrenaline, cortisol, right? Endorphins. And it can be incredibly harmful if there's an overproduction of it or underproduction of it. And you don't even understand what it's doing for you, what it's doing to you. Not only you, but the person you love. Every time you engage in arguing back and forth with someone, that's lowering your vibration. Now, I'm not speaking about getting loud, projecting your voice. I'm not speaking about projecting your voice. I'm not speaking about being passionate. I'm speaking about lowering your vibration. If you're going back exchanging words, and I mean those words, you are this, you are that, emasculating words, defeminizing words, arguing back and forth, cursing people out, taking your time, taking your most invaluable, precious time to dox someone, going to look for trouble, arguing back and forth about who's right and who's wrong. And you are 304 and you are Pookie and a Ray Ray and a Dusty and all of these other things, and you getting all hype and getting all riled up. What do you think that's doing? A lot of this shit is hurting y'all. A lot of y'all are so easily manipulated, right? And you don't even understand what's going on. But you proved your point. You told him. You told her. And you have no idea how much it's hurting you and affecting you mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Not only a waste of time, it's dangerous. Dangerous. You become what you consume. How do you expect to attract what you want if you don't even have the energetic capacity to do it? It's just like you going to your bank saying, I want $1,000 out, and you got $1. You can't pull out what's not in there. And so when we're speaking about these things like manipulation, the catalyst and the core to manipulation, psychology, chemistry, quantum physics, biology, all the different subjects who most of us think is boring, who most of us think it's not charismatic, it's not fun, it's not engaging, it's not giving me that rush, it's not giving me that fix like you somebody crackhead. Medicinal medicine is never going to be sweet. However, it is always going to heal you from within. Sugar is always going to be sweet. And it is also going to destroy you from within. And a lot of us have become so accustomed to being manipulated by people, places, and things because we've become so addicted to the sugar, the sweetness that being manipulated or manipulating does for you. There's so many women who I've spoken to, so many women who I'm still hearing make all type of justifications, rhymes, reasons, and excuses while they're still entertaining a man who do not understand not only who he are, but who you are. Disrespecting you in more ways than a box of jacks being thrown on the floor. Thank you so much for the follows, love. Boring is where most great wise gems and moves are. Yes, I agree, Miss Jennifer. How are you, my love? It's so unfortunate and it's so sad. And I'm like, you know what? Because let me tell you something. I'll be transparently honest. I've been teaching self-mastery for 15 plus years, right? Sometimes I'm an infinite being as well. Sometimes it's incredibly aggravating. And it's like, you know what? I'm done. I understand sometimes even I need a break, right? However, I also understand that there's a many of you who just don't know yet what they need to know. Because a lot of us want to heal, truly heal. A lot of us truly want to elevate mentally, spiritually, emotionally, energetically. A lot of us want to detach. A lot of us want to grow in certain areas. A lot of us want more money, want a bigger home or bigger apartment or healthy children, healthy relationships. Whether it's platonic friendship, family ship, or romantic ship, a lot of us want that, and it's nothing unnatural. I don't like using words like right, wrong, anything, words that are subjective, right? So I'm hoping you can follow, right? I'm hoping you can follow me while I'm speaking, right? There's nothing unrighteous about wanting more. However, understand that there are so many individuals, so many systems that are set in place to keep you on a perpetual cycle of self-destruction. You become what you consume. The dominant programs that's controlling and influencing your behaviors is always going to win, just like in a game of tug of war. The stronger will always defeat the weaker. This is why you have to understand and get the help and the information and the guidance that you need, because there's far too many people and systems just pushing these narratives. It's all about the bag. It's all about the bag. It's all about the money. It's all about the bag. It's all about the money. It's all about the glam. It's all about the glitz. It's all about the what? Fashion. It's all about drinking. It's all about smoking. It's all about everything that was set up to keep you mentally enslaved, deaf, dumb, and docile. Talking about zombies walking around here. Look in the mirror, people. I say that with all due respect and sincerity. Look in the mirror. When is the last time you reassessed your day-to-day functions, your day-to-day activities. The concept of zombies is that you're deaf, dumb, and blind, and that you're a follower. That you just flowing and going with every strong wind that pass your way. Never really understanding that you have the power to detach from that. It is absolutely okay not to want to be a millionaire. It's absolutely okay if you want to be single. It's absolutely okay if you want to be in a partnership, marriage, quote unquote. It's okay if you want more of whatever it is or you want less, whatever it is. All of these things are okay. However, what happens in a game when you don't pass the level? You have to keep repeating it. The same goes for you understanding if someone, the same goes when you don't understand how unjust, unrighteous manipulation works. Guess what? You're going to keep on being a target, right? If you can be easily guilt tripped into discounting your own mental process, if you can be easily guilt tripped and manipulated into questioning your thought process, your feelings, right? If you can be aware of that, you'll have more understanding. Guilt tripping is one of the ways that manipulators manipulate you, that master manipulators use to bait you. Guilt tripping is one of the ways that master manipulators use to bait you into serving their needs, into tricking you to investing in their goals only. Do y'all understand that? Let me know if y'all understand what I'm picking down. Talk to me. Candy, thank you so much for the follow. Society doesn't teach that though. Of course they don't. Their purpose, of course they don't. They're not telling you this. How do you think millionaires or millionaires, multimillionaires, billionaires, multi-billionaires, how do you think they got to where they are? You're welcome. Thank you, Candy. Such a sweetheart. How do you think they got to where they are? How do you get someone to pour into you? Or I rephrase that. What is one of the biggest ways that marketers use to bait you? I want someone to answer that in the question. What is one of the biggest ways that marketers use to bait you? Let's get it. I know y'all intelligent in here. Yes, you make perfect sense in the way you describe it. Oh, thank you so much, my love. Let's get it. What do you think that number way? What, Rhea, thank you so much for sharing the live. What do you think that number one thing is? What do you think the number one thing is that master manipulators, I'm talking about billionaires, millionaires, trillionaires, I'm talking about all of these Fortune 500 companies, I'm talking about anybody that's there with their finances. Now, I'm not saying that all of them are unrighteous. However, the majority of them are. What do you think that number one thing is? What do you think the number one thing is that manipulators use to bait you? Come on, let's go. Thinking they can fill your need. You close. You warm. You warm, Paradox. You warm. Elva, hi my love. Advertisement. Yes, you're warm too, Angela. You're warm too. Right? Lies. Oh yeah, that's definitely in the lines of manipulating. What is the number one thing or the biggest thing that marketers use to bait you? I said it in the beginning if you were here. I'm just going to give it to you. Emotional manipulation. This is why we're speaking about manipulation. Appeal to your senses and sense of urgency. Yes. If someone can persuade and manipulate your energy, they got you. Why do you think subliminal messages is one of their tactics? When you think about master marketers, master manipulators, they have to get to your feelings. They have to get to your emotions. Because when you're emotionally moved, you respond, you react, right? Self mastery is also about mastering your mental, your spiritual, your physical, your emotions, which is your energy. I want to encourage y'all to get to a point where you become a master of your energy and frequency, to where you're not easily swayed by anybody that just comes and sound good. How many of us buy shit that we don't need? How many of us buy things that we don't need, that we don't even want? More than we should. Because we're all in that category, but more than we should. Right? Master manipulate. Yes, thank you for your honesty. Yes, we do these things. However, the more you understand self-mastery, the more you apply self-mastery, the less you are the less you are persuaded to do things that you inwardly don't want to do, because it don't serve you. It never served you, and it never will serve you. At what point do you say it's time to rise? At what point do you say I have to really do better? I just can't keep saying, just can't keep saying this shit. At what point do you really step outside of yourself to see that you are that person running on that damn hamster wheel, calling it progress, just because you break a sweat every now and again? You're doing the same shit, getting the same results over and over and over and over and over again. But you love yourself. You respect yourself. You honor yourself. Yet you're acting like less than a god or goddess you are. How, Sway? How? Unfortunately, when you get sick and they're and tired enough. Yes, Liz Newman, thank you so much for the follow. So yeah, I understand that too. Psychologically, it's been expressed that until a person goes through extreme stress, or goes through a serious, very serious, sometimes life-threatening situation, is the only time that they actually snap out of it and come to. Only when they're in a crisis do your psychological be like, oh, wait a minute, I can't keep doing this, because what? I'm in stage 4 of a dis-ease. I'm in stage 3 of a dis-ease, right? You don't see. You think people who go to the doctor, right, whenever they decide to go to a doctor that has been diagnosed with a terminally ill dis-ease, life-threatening dis-ease, you think they all of a sudden they went to the doctor and was like, oh, I know I'm not at stage 1, I'm not at stage 2, I'm at stage 3, 4, whatever it is. Sincerely, respectfully speaking, right? They didn't know that their dis-ease was, what's the word just flew out of my head. They didn't understand that their dis-ease was progressing. They knew to a degree, because your body is always going to tell you what's not in alignment, when it's unaligned, when something is, what some of y'all say, wrong. Your body is always going to tell you what's going on with it if you listen to it. The same way you know that summer is coming, the same way you know when spring is coming, when fall is coming, when winter is coming, the same way you know that the seasons are coming around, the next season is coming right after the other on a cycle and repeat, is the same process that is going on in your body if you just learn to listen and pay attention to it. But if you're constantly allowing people to manipulate you mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, energetically, that is like a terminal cancer that's eating away at you from the inside out. And some of y'all are waiting way too long to get checked. And then you find yourself at stage 4, self-destruction. Then you find yourself weak and fatigued. You find yourself broken beyond brokenness. You find yourself in such the deepest and darkest depths of depression, of anxiety, right? Right? Because you're not paying attention, because everything is all fun and games. You think you can continually argue back and forth with people about stupid ish. You think you can continually lower your vibration. You think you can continually keep running your ass to the basement knowing ain't shit there but everything that's going to hurt you. You think you can continually make choices, knowing or unknowingly, without your self-destruction progressing. You think you can continually go to a job that you hate, that you are miserable in, keeping your vibrations low. You think that you continually repeating the same stories over and over, and past stories, past traumas, repeating this over and over and over and over and over again without self-destruction progressing. You think you can continually be unaccountable, irresponsible without self-destruction progressing. And all of a sudden, what? You at stage 4, stage 5, stage 10. And now your infinite life is being threatened prematurely. Prematurely. You think you can continually be dismissive and passive with men and women who is coming into your life, meaning you no good. No good, terrorizing you in the worst ways. You think you can continually be with that man or that woman, or man after man, woman after woman, and you think nothing is happening. Just like that person that was ignoring that something was stirring up inside them. Their body was letting them know, hey, I don't feel good in my heart. I don't feel good in my mind. I don't feel good in my body. I'm weak. I don't feel good emotionally. I'm distorted. Ignoring it. Using every justification in the realm as to why you got to keep living according to someone else's standards, philosophies, dogma, rhetoric, foolishness. We're still talking about self-mastery. Systems are manipulating you. Government systems. People are manipulating you. I mean, am I right or am I right? How long you gonna continue being fake and phony, lying to yourself? How long are you gonna continually ignore all the signs that yourself is giving you, that nature is giving you, that your ancestors is giving you, that you are giving you? Because I am a part of you. I am you, reminding you of these things. This is why you're here. Nothing happens by coincidence, happenstance, or luck. Everything, from the smallest to the grandest, everything happens for a divine reason. And it's all happening for you and not to you, to remind you who you are and one of your divine purposes on this realm. Because if you are an infinite being, if you are a living infinite organism, your first and main priority is to expand. Is to expand. And if you're not expanding, you're shrinking. If you're not evolving, you're devolving. If you're not expanding, you're self-destructing. So we have to be aware. We have to take time to become more aware of what we're doing, why we're doing, and the ramifications of it. Because a lot of you are in very, 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 very dark places if you think you can continually ignore your infinite primal essence to evolve and elevate. Baby, you are on your way off this planet. And here's a truth, an undesirable truth. Every decision you make, everything you do is going to come with one or two things, a reward or consequence. Every decision you make, everything you do, you are either going to find yourself on a lower level or a higher level energetically. And it's not only going to affect you, it's going to affect the people, your children, everybody who you claim that you love. And if you don't really understand the essence of infinite love, I need you to relearn some things. And stop playing so much. Because a lot of us think it's a damn joke, and it's not. And then y'all find yourself in situations that's so disheartening. And it's hurtful not only to you, but the people who love you that's around you. You can't think you have to, in our right mind, you think you can continually throw pebbles in a pond without ripples? When you throw a pebble in the pond, it's going to create ripples. The severity, the weight of that pebble is going to determine the severity of them ripples. It's the equivalent to every decision you make. I'll give you an example. It's hard to let go for many and anchor oneself in peace and pure love. It is, but it's doable though. It's doable. It's really, really doable. I'll give you an example of the pebble in the pond and the ripple analogy. Even though I was misguided, I was unlearned, even though I was ignorant to many degrees, when I exchanged my sexual energy at a very young age, what came from that was a child. I don't regret any situations. And I don't regret any of my 3 young souls, beautiful souls. However, I'm aware enough and understand enough and have learned enough to know that one decision, me not thinking that one decision through, because you cannot grow past your mental capacity. You can't grow past your mental database. If you don't have something within, you can't produce nothing from without. You understand what I'm saying? And the universe didn't care that I was ignorant, that I didn't know what I was doing. That's not how the universe works. I tell y'all all the time, the universe only understands one language. Your God concept only understands one language. It don't matter what people done taught you. Understand what I'm telling you. The universe only understands frequency, vibration. This God concept that y'all talking about, they even know. They know what you don't know, what they've been keeping from you, yet it's in your face. Only understands frequency. This is why you can speak affirmations till you turn blue and nothing is gonna happen. You're not gonna attract what you want. You're gonna keep attracting more of what you don't want because you don't understand brain and heart coherence. You don't understand that yet. And you're not making a decision to gain the information that you need. Back to the example. The universe didn't care that I was ignorant of what happens after sex. The universe didn't care that I was unlearned, that I didn't know how to be a mother. The universe didn't care that I was still hurt and broken. I was still dealing with some issues. The universe didn't care that I was dealing with mommy issues and daddy issues and abandonment issues and SB and SV issues. The universe didn't care that I experienced any of those things in a sense, because it only responded to the energy and frequency that I was emitting. I made a decision in my ignorance. I didn't know no better. I wasn't taught any better. And guess what? Remember the analogy. Every decision you make is like a pebble thrown in the pond. There will be ripples. The severity and impact of each ripple in your life, that is not only going to impact you, but everybody that is in your circumference. The weight of the pebble is going to determine the severity of the ripple. And in my case, it was a lifelong ripple. It's not like I could have picked up another rock and threw it in the pond. I was like, I don't like that ripple. I don't like those ripples. Let me pick another rock. Let me pick a lighter rock, or let me pick a more prettier rock. It don't work like that. So guess what? That one decision has given me a lifetime of consequences and rewards. A lot of young mothers who became mothers at a very young age can attest to that. Just the same as young fathers who became fathers at a young age can attest to that. That's an example, a great example of every decision that you make. You need to start thinking about it. And one of those practices, one of those ways you can do that is start being more aware of people that are intentionally manipulating you to serve their own purpose, right? People who are out here guilt tripping you. People who are out here targeting you because they're targeting you, baby. So make good ripples. Yes, I am lying. I'm lying. That's cute. So make good ripples. Yes, make some good ripples. Wanda, thank you so much for following. Thank you all for following. Thank you all for being here and sharing your energy. If I can get you to help me tap the screen, let's get some love going. I would appreciate it. We at 3.2 right now. That's the only thing I would ask you for in here. Sometimes I ask for gifts, I ask them to meet goal, but very rarely do I do that because that's really not my intention. However, I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't say it every now and again. If you feeling, inspired, you can give. However, I do ask every now and again that you do tap the screen. I hope you all enjoy it. Oh, Etsy. Hi, my love. Thank you, sister. It's 3 a.m. Oh my God, I got to go to bed now. Oh, thank you so much for sharing your energy with me. So happy that I connected with you. Have an infinite peaceful rest, love. Right? So there's individuals you have to be aware, right? Of the individuals who are guilt tripping you, trying to make you feel bad because you're not bending to their will. I know many of us that go through that. Many of y'all go through that, men and women. It's not heavier on either side. There are plenty of men that are being manipulated in unjust, unrighteous ways, and there are plenty of women that are being manipulated, right? And so these master manipulators a lot of them will pay attention to when men or women come into your life. And remember, I'm not only speaking of romantic relationships, men and women who have a romantic sexual interest in you. Mainly that, right? Mainly that, because a lot of us think that a relationship is just going to soothe and heal everything, right? A lot of us think that's the way. However, for those of y'all, this is for you too, right? However, I'm speaking to pay attention to men and women who come into your life who excessively compliments you. I mean, they just like overdo it. They can't do it enough. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that we don't like to be complimented, that we don't like to be seen, that we don't like to be heard, that we don't like to be observed, right? And noticed. I'm not saying that at all. Anything that's obsessive is too much. An overabundance of something can also hurt you in many ways. Understand that. Also understand that. Wow, I can't show support. What you mean, love? Like, understand that. Pay attention to that. Too much flattery. Yeah, O'Neill, too much flattery. Pay attention. That is one of the clickbaits of master manipulators. They excessively compliment you. You know why they do that? They overkill. You know why they do that? Because they want to see if you lack confidence. They want to see if you have a low self-esteem. They're fishing to see if your confidence and self-esteem is below 6 feet deep. You want me to give you an example of something like that? Say a man come into your life, right? A man come into your life and he's just like, and if you're not a confident, if you're not a confident woman, if your self-esteem is not above your above, like, let's say above my bun, okay? If your self-esteem not above your head, I'll just say that. It's too low. And I mean that with my whole chest. If your self-esteem is not above your head, it's too low. Master manipulators fish. They play with you to see if you're going to be like, oh, thank you. If you're constantly showboating, if you constantly need reassurance, if you constantly need that is you sticking out like a sore thumb. That's what they're doing. They're testing your confidence. When a man or woman is excessively complimenting you, what they're indirectly, unjustly, subliminally doing is checking your confidence thermometer. They're checking your self-esteem thermometer. They're checking if you have self-full acceptance. They're checking all of those things. Them compliments don't mean ish. Nothing. They're just fishing and checking to see where you at. Because if they figure out that you are insecure as they think you are, they got you. Flattery will leave you open for manipulation. It's nothing unhealthy about someone flattering you, I'm speaking about obsessively doing something, right? Obsessively complimenting, overkill. I'm speaking about the overkill. Because yeah, you especially if you are with a significant other, right? Even let me tell you something. I I enjoy. No one in their right mind, in their right status can say that they don't like compliments, that they don't want to be seen in a good way, in a righteous way, in a healthy way, heard in a good, righteous, just way, understood, right? Right? Or accepted. That's beautiful. It's healthy. We're still triune beings. We are part mental, part spirit, soul, part physical. We're not going to ignore our triune essence or any compartment of that. We're not going to ignore it. The whole concept of self mastery is mastering your triune essence, cultivating it, not just paying more attention to one and not the other. However, too many of us are paying more attention to the physical. A lot of us think we are the physical and that we're not the soul. How many of you think you the car you drive? How many of you think you're the literal car and not the person driving the car? How many of you sound how crazy that sounds? How many of you actually think you're the car, the physical material car? You're not. You drive the car though. You may be the owner of the car. You're the operator of the car. This vessel is just like your vehicle. It's a part of you, but it is not the essence of you. Understand that there's a difference, right? And so these master manipulators are fishing for your insecurities. They fishing for them. Now, I'm not saying you have to be cocky. I'm not saying that you have to be self-centered. I'm not saying that you need to be just over the top with things. I'm not saying that at all. It's supposed to be a harmony with a lot of things. It's supposed to be a balance with some things. Everything isn't to be balanced. It's about harmony, right? So what they're doing is fishing for your insecurities. Master manipulators fish for your insecurities because if they think you are as insecure as they think you are, they got you. And the clickbait is one of the clickbaits is complimenting you of excessively. Another clickbait of master manipulators are isolating you. That happened to one of my sisters, actually. From the time we were young ladies, she had this man in her life who was in her life for almost 30 years. I believe almost 30 years. This man was physically abusive, mentally abusive. Right now, mind you, we are young ladies. Mine's not finished developed, right? We were young parents. We both had children at a very young age, right? And so I understand a lot of the ignorance because we're all ignorant to a degree. You're ignorant to the level you are about to enter into. You may have some knowledge of the level, but you're going to have a percentage of ignorance because we don't know what we don't know. Yeah, sense of value, right? He was a master manipulator, right? And so guess what he did? The minute he found out that we knew he was beating on my sister, he was verbally being abusive to my sister. The minute, and I have 11 siblings, uncles, cousins. I mean, I was born and raised in the streets, right? In New York, Brooklyn. So we was about that life. And nobody knew. However, the minute he realized that we knew, guess what he did? He moved her out of the state. He persuaded her. He manipulated her to move her out of the state. Why? Because he had to isolate her in order to keep her serving his self-serving needs. He had to isolate her to keep her in alignment with his goals, his agenda. And what was that? To continually abuse her mentally, spiritually, physically, right? And probably a whole host of things that we didn't know about. Antoine, thank you so much for the follow, my love, right? So we have to pay attention to that. These are clickbaits of master manipulators. They will make you think you're going crazy because you call them out on their poor behaviors. They will make you discount your own righteous mind and your own thoughts. They will make you rethink your thoughts 10 times over if it don't align with their agenda and their goals. They deflect a lot. They just switch things around and make you think that is you. And you have to pay attention because people do this all the time. Master marketers do it. Men and women do it all the time. And we cannot keep hooping and hollering about, I want respect, I want love, I want this, I want that. Leaders and feminism and all of this bullish that we talking about. A bunch of misguided, when I tell y'all there's so many misguided individuals out there, I'll be like, my goodness. Some of them I empathize with. Some of them I empathize with because I'm like, okay, I don't sense any malicious intent in them. But some of these individuals, these same individuals that a lot of us are listening to, a lot of us that are consuming this trash is being affected by it. Right? And it's hurting you in more ways than what all that means no thing. Right? Are you the one who seems to, they fishing for insecurities, they fishing for your unhealed traumas? Master manipulators use your traumas against you, your insecurities against you, your low self-esteem against you. It's clickbait for them. And a lot of us are falling into it. Why? Because you don't know yet what you need to know. Not only do you not know what you need to know, not only are you not aware of what you need to be aware, you have not had the experiences to apply. That's something too. I want y'all to understand this and hear me. Stop being afraid. Fear is the most dangerous energy that you can ever be on. A lot of us are easily swayed and moved by fear. Delusional fears. Back to what I was saying. Stop being so fearful of the unknown, because it is in the unknown where your mastery of self is going to come into place. What good is it if you find the information, retain the information, if you never allow the experiences of the information? Now let's use manipulation in this analogy I'm about to give and with this concept. If you are one who used to be, I'm gonna put that out there for you. If you are the one who used to be easily manipulated and you are learning the things that I'm teaching you, right? You are understanding the things that I'm teaching you. You are processing the things that I'm teaching you. Understand the only way you are going to master your emotions, the only way you are going to be more self-aware of people manipulating you is if you allow the next example and the experience of another manipulator in your life. Understand what you're learning, you're going to experience. And I know that can be scary for a lot of us. Understand what you're learning. You're going to also attract the experiences so you can apply what you learn. This is why when I hear certain men and women say, oh, I've been single for 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, and I don't want this and I don't want that. Not that anything is unrighteous, unhealthy about that. Hear me. I'm speaking of the men and women who are pronouncing and professing and yelling this out on top of the roof. I'm big single. I'm big independent. I'm big boss. You know what I'm saying? I'm hyper. I'm all like, I don't want no man. I don't need no man or want no man or need no woman. But inwardly, you're lying. Inwardly, you want that. And that's beautiful. Yes, a lot of them are broken. Like, that's the truth. And it's okay. But it is no flex for you to be saying you've been single. You've been celibate for all of these years as if it's a flex. It's not a flex. It's fear. For many of us, not for all, because I know some of us like to twist up these things. It's a fear. So you mean to tell me that it took you 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4, 5, 10 years to heal, to go through everything that you went through, talking about I had to do all this work and you're not going to apply it? No, what you really implying, right? Because I read body language, I read energy. Not only that, I've heard it thousands of times from the men and women that I've coached. No, you're lying. You are afraid to apply what you learned. How will you know if you're not tested? How will you know the level of your skills if you're not tested? How will you know the level of your power if you're not tested? How will you know the level of your greatness if you're not tested? How will you know if you become more aware of master manipulators trying to snatch your whole energetic frequency and aura if you don't allow the experience to take place so you can be like, I see what this is. I got you. About Facebook forward march. Return to sender. Return to sender. How will you know if you don't apply? That's the most foolish thing I hear people say out of their mouth. I'm like, I wouldn't even waste time conversing with certain people because, baby, you don't intellectually stand where I stand. Baby, your head so hard. Some of our heads are so hard, honey. Hard. It's not a flex. So I want us to understand that. Understand, in every area you seek to elevate in, with everything you want to attract and manifest, with everyone you want to attract and manifest into your life, no matter in what capacity, understand that you are going to have the parallel experience that is going to enter your life to test you. Right? A man or woman who have never experienced another man or woman coming into their life, loving them from a fullness, loving them from an infinite aspect and essence, don't really know what that type of infinite love looks like, feels like, how it smells. You don't have an idea. So guess what's going to happen when that person finally comes into your life? Your body and your mind is going to naturally resist them. Your body and your mind is going to automatically throw up its defense mechanism system and release cortisol, which is one of the most dangerous chemicals that is ever released, that can be released in your body. Why? Because you're unfamiliar to it. It's unknown to you. You haven't experienced that yet. What you haven't experienced, your body and mind will naturally reject until it becomes familiar with it. So I understand that mental reprogramming is not the easiest process. I get it. Self-mastery is not the easiest process. I get it. To be aware and to recognize master manipulators is not the easiest process to do. Especially when you don't know what you're doing, when you don't know who you are, when you don't know what you want, and you don't know why you want it. And you're settling. You just want a quick fix or a man or woman just to have thighs, biceps, and triceps and all of the goodness. And some of it ain't good. Or just to have it in your life. And most of it is always to please someone else. You are sacrificing the most beautiful and infinite aspects of who you are. When you become so desensitized and dismissive of people treating you poorly, of people disrespecting you, and you make all types of rhyme, reasons, and justifications as to why their manipulation makes sense. All while playing like you about that life. That's the craziest thing. Like, baby, you ain't about that life. You know how I know you about that life? How I know many of the ones I'm personally speaking to ain't about that life, baby, because, yeah, I was present. I was present for them tears. I was present for them tears. I never threw it back at you because that's not what I do. However, I am that person that's going to remind you and that's going to hold you to a standard if we're in each other's life. I am that person that is not passive aggressive. I am that person that's assertive. I am that person that is accountable for not only my divine purposes and who I am, I'm also accountable for giving you the undesirable truths. Especially when it comes down to you. Acting like you ain't about that life. Acting like you about the life that you ain't about. Infinite love cannot dwell in the same sphere as hate. It just can't. You either one or the other. You either gonna vibe in one or the other, but not simultaneously. You can vibe in one or the other, but you cannot vibrate in love and hate at the same damn time. It don't work. And if you think you can, you are sadly mistaken. You are misinformed and you don't understand who you are. You do not understand who you are. You don't understand, overstand, and understand who you are. If you think you can continually vibrate on level 2, 3, 4, 5, which is hate, low vibration, hate, aggression, contempt, disgust, jealousy, envy. Okay, all of those is low vibrations. If you think you can continually vibrate there while simultaneously saying, but I love you, I got love for you, what type of love is that? At what point do you want to understand what is love? I can't sing. I know. I tried though. What was her name? T Vaz, B Vaz. Oh, she sang that song so eloquently, so beautifully. What is love? That's a pretty song. Pretty song, right? Yeah, you can't ride the fence on many things. It's not possible. A lot of us need to not only undergo mental reprogramming, because that's the only way that's going to change your behaviors. That's the only way that's going to get you whatever and whoever you desire, want, or need in your life, right? Redefining your perspective with the spells that you're using. What do I mean by spells? Yeah, all of these words that we're using. Remember I said everything is energy? Everything is energy. Your thoughts is energy. Everything is energy. Your spoken word, energy, spelling. I know y'all heard that before, but a lot of us don't take it as seriously as we should. We are literally casting spells on ourselves, cursing ourselves. No, now I retract. Whoop, I take that back. Many of people are cursing themselves every day throughout the day, and you don't even understand it. Baby, all that fast talking, and I can talk fast sometimes, but all that fast talking don't mean you intelligent, wise, or intellectual. It don't mean that, because you can be an intelligent fool. You can have all the information and still be unwise. Oh, no, yeah. No, I'm not from Louisiana. I'm from Brooklyn. Yes. Right? Yeah, that's what they say. Life and death is in the tongue, even though I don't subscribe to the philosophy and the concept of death. We are infinite beings, infinite energy, electromagnetic beings. Baby, when I tell you we're powerful, we're powerful. Your energy will never die. Infinite energy is neither created nor destroyed. It just is. Just like your beautiful infinite essence just is. The problem is that the deceitful ones have tricked you into thinking that you need to be mastered instead of them teaching you that you are the master of yourself. And it's time. We are in an age, an energetic era and frequency, a galactic realm frequency. It is the greatest time to experience on this realm. The greatest time to be awake and aware. The greatest time to be happy. Yes, I said to be happy, to be blissful. It is a joy to be on this planet. It is the greatest time to be here. You are infinite energy and you're powerful. A lot of these unrighteous, unjust systems, people and places and patriarchs, all of these systems are crushing, baby. Like they time been up. Been up. Contracts been up. So yes, as long as I'm on this realm, I'm going to do what I'm purposed to do, which is remind you who you are. Remind you that it cannot be all fun and games all the time. It's time to sit yourself down and really figure out who you are, what you want, why you want it. If you want to elevate, if you want to evolve. And just the FYI, pardon me. Excuse me 1 second. Baby, that essential oil, you be rocking in that thing. Thank you so much for the follows, my loves. FYI, understand that if you are one who is professing, saying, you don't want to elevate, You don't want to become more aware. You don't want to expand. You don't want more of all things righteous and all things good and great and amazing. And the one of those, a few of those things could be peace, could be spiritual elevation. It's not all. When I say want more, I don't mean money. I don't mean even more things, because some of us actually want more peace in our life. Some of us actually want more joy and happiness in our life. Those are also things that we want. If you are one who is saying opposite of these things, you are truly a fool. I say that with the biggest respect. It is within your nature to expand, to evolve. So to speak against your nature is cursing yourself. This is why I say, if you don't understand who you are, what you want, and why you want it, you're going to continually stay right down here. And eventually, you're going to be at stage 4. You're going to be uncurable. And you are about to transition because your time is up. Even though your energy will never die or be destroyed, it can only be transferred from one realm to the next. Baby, this avatar, all the beautiful experiences that you can experience here in this beautiful realm. And by beautiful, I don't always mean joyful to the mind, body, and soul, because some of this life is going to be uncomfortable. However, even that I call beauty, I call joy, I call bliss. If you don't understand that, baby, you working against yourself. You're backwards. Okay, let me get to some of these comments. Goddess, I see you got the ankh in the back. Oh yeah, I love my ankhs. I have two ankh gold pieces too, but I didn't have it on because I'm wearing my hoodie. But yes, we about that ankh life, that infinite life, that womb life, that feminine life. Okay, we about that life. Ashe. Who, what, why, my. Chantel, how are you, my love? Erica, hey, how do you change your frequency? There's a few ways that you can do that. The number one way is by learning what energy and frequency is. Look into understanding your chakras. They have all types of like quick little study guides out there. I have one of them right here, actually. Look into learning about your chakras. They have books like this, like Chakras for Beginners. That's infinite that I actually had that right here. But I got books everywhere. But in it, you can do that. Learn about your chakras. That'll teach you a lot about your energy and your frequencies. Some people call it chakras. Some people call it energy centers. Some people call it prana, but it really is your energy centers. You have more than 8. Which some people only go up to 7. But our ancient Egyptians, our ancestors, some of our ancestors also added the 8th chakra, which is your Kai. It is above your crown chakra, right? And that is your aura. That's your prana. That's what they call your chi, right? So look into literature information about your chakras. That'll teach you. That's one of the things where you can learn how to understand your energy and learn how to manipulate and harmonize it. Yes, the word of the mouth is power. Yes, it's limited. Thank you so much for the follow, love. Absolutely. I am a hoodie girl. I really am. I'm really a hoodie girl. I got like 4 hoodies, different designs that are comedic. Guard your thoughts. Yes, Aquarian. How are you, Aquarian Supreme? I like that name. Thank you for the knowledge, goddess. You're welcome, love. Right? And so a few other things. I'm going to give you a few more clickbaits of master manipulators, right? So we spoke about the excessive, the overkill on the compliments. We spoke about fishing for your insecurities, fishing for your traumas, like all of these things. These things that I'm mentioning are like pheromones to master manipulators, right? They're easily detected, right? They'll try to isolate you. They will test you at every level. They will test you at every level just to see where just to see where there are cracks in your foundation. And some of y'all don't even have a damn foundation. Y'all like stick out like a sore thumb, just like the yellow man in the image up top that I'm using. Like y'all easy targets, right? Easy targets, right? And some of y'all think it's cute the way y'all be acting. Some of y'all think it's macho the way y'all be acting. And it's like, maybe you don't even know what you're doing to yourself. It's crazy. But some of us learning, some of us we going. So another clickbait that master manipulators use is that, yes, they will test you at every level to see how dependent you are, right? To see where they can clickbait you into completely relying on them, getting you to a space where you become so codependent on them that only they revolve around your world, in and out of your world. They will test you on every level, right? All to still encipher your dependence, right? Because they need you to be codependent on them, right? For everything, for validation, for security, for acceptance, right? For credibility. They will look to you to be, they will put you in an isolated position to where you are totally reliant on them. And some of them goes to the extent of, don't breathe unless I say so. It gets that serious with some people. Yeah, narcissists are incredibly, they are master manipulators. So you're absolutely right, Nikki. Narcs are definitely master manipulators, right? And as much as we have conversations about them, as much as some of us that hoop and holler about, yeah, I don't allow this and I don't allow that, and y'all on these live talking big talk, big games, baby, and it, so stop doing that. Just stop. Just stop. I'm dealing with one now. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, come on, and it's like no shade, no gray, right? No shade at all. However, I mean, we gonna call it like we see it. Like some of us really not about that life. Stop it. You're hurting yourself. You really are. Like you sweet on the inside. Just sweet. Both men and women. When I mean sweet, that's just a subliminal a subliminal shot that's saying you ain't that tough. Okay? And your self-esteem is below your hairline. That's too low. If your confidence is below your hairline, it's too low. Yes, it's weakness. And master manipulators, they prey on you about that. So all of this big talk you doing, I mean, just be quiet. Just be quiet. But I keep it real and I'm 100% honest and I'm like, girl, boy, bye. Just stop. Some of y'all sound so crazy, right? And I'm not apologizing for it. Like, I won't go too far, but I won't apologize for it either because I'm like, come on now. Like, who you think you fooling? Stop. Like, you talk about gaslighters, but all you doing is gaslighting. All you doing is gaslighting. Out here claiming these men and they don't want nothing to do with you. Out here in whole relationships with women and they showing you they don't want nothing to do with you. Gaslighting. And you saying it with your whole chest and breast. My man, my man, my man. My man, my man, my man. My woman, my woman, my woman. He take me here. She do this for me. We. Girl. Stop. Some of y'all out here playing dangerous games. Some of y'all out here consuming information, y'all playing dangerous games. Y'all out here listening to these women teach y'all how to be master manipulators. How to finesse men out of their money. Now, if that's how they rock, that's how they roll. If that's how they roll, that's how they rock. Okay? To each his, her own. However, some of y'all playing dangerous games. Because if you think you will never be that girl who came up missing, if you think you will never be that man that got chopped up, if you think that you won't have your mama, daddy, siblings, all those who love you crying because your soul don't left your body because you playing dangerous games, listening to men and women on how to be a master manipulator, how to attract a high value man, how to attract a high value woman, how to get what you want out of a man, how to get what you want out of a woman, how to be the pimp in a pimp stress of 2000 ... Y'all think it's a game out here? People coming up missing. It's not a game. Some of y'all playing dangerous games. Talking about sprinkle, sprinkle. You keep playing around and they're going to be sprinkling them damn roses over your coffin. Y'all out here playing with that heat. Y'all ass can't, y'all better stop playing. I mean, I'm saying it how I'm saying it, but I am extremely serious. Some of y'all playing dangerous games. That shit ain't cute. That shit ain't funny. You must don't love your life. If you think it's a gag, if you think it's a flex, if you think it's cute, promoting these messages, preaching this garbage and this propaganda. Yes, I said it. Listening to women like Sprinkle Sprinkle Lady and all the other ladies who is out here just, this is how to get him. This is how to get her. This is how to use him. This is how to use her. This is how to take. Y'all messing with people's minds. Y'all messing with people's hearts and emotions. And y'all don't even know these men and women's middle names. And y'all playing with their life. And you don't even know their mental stability, their capabilities. You don't even know these people. Out here trying to get in their bank account. You don't know that man or that woman. You don't know what they're capable of. Y'all better start watching. Remember. Remind yourself that there are men and women being unalived every day. I'm not saying it's solely from people taking advantage of them. I'm not saying solely from people trying to manipulate them or from being manipulated. I'm not saying solely. However, it is a big part of it. That shit irks my whole soul. My whole soul. Hearing these messages of these men and women say that shit, and it's all, I mean, I don't be speaking of dusties. I don't be speaking to, what they call them now, dusties and busties. And, I only deal with high value. Like, you can't take me to Red Lobster. I don't want to go to, what they call it, Cheesecake Factory. Don't be taking me to Applebee's. I'm not doing coffee. I did all this makeup and hair. And I'm like, look at me. I'm just a ish, right? Come on, you gonna have to pay for this. Okay, ho. Like, y'all playing dangerous games. Dangerous games. Y'all must don't love your life. Why? You think it's really a flex to be that irresponsible, that stupid, deaf, dumb, and docile, that unaccountable, right? You think it's attractive to be them things? Reckless. Thank you, Aquarian. Reckless. You think it's a flex and cute to be that reckless? And all you saying is you two, some just too damn lazy, too damn codependent, too irresponsible and unaccountable to do certain things on your own. Talking about, y'all get it confused about you want a soft life. No, you want a dummy. You don't want no soft life. What the hell? How does having a soft life equate to a man taking care of you? You weak. With all due respect, you are weak. Because divine femininity, divine masculinity, right? Divine gods and goddesses, the responsibility of being a leader, of being a guide in any capacity. I'm not just talking about no man. Is work. It is no weakness involved. Because if your soft life means sitting on the couch, sitting pretty, pampering yourself every day, if your soft life is equivalent to having materialistic things, if your soft life means not being responsible and accountable for your life and your elevation and your expanding for the whatever necessities that you want, no, that ain't soft life, baby. That's weak life. That's called irresponsible life. That's called reckless life. Yes, divinity don't do that. It's work. To be natural, is you gonna have to put in some work for that. I'm so disgusted with so many of these so-called femininity experts and coaches. Now, I'm not all of them, because you have some righteous ones out there, right? However, you have way too many of these misguided, self-proclaimed gurus teaching you, misinforming you about what femininity is, divine femininity, divine masculinity, when you have no idea yourself. You're teaching about things you know not of. And if you think you're not going to be held accountable for that, thank you so much for the gifts, my loves. If you think you're not going to be held accountable for that, you're sadly mistaken. If you think them consequences ain't get ready to sneak up on your ass, you're sadly mistaken. Y'all got all of this shit backwards. Y'all got all of this backwards. We're still talking about manipulation. Still talking about manipulation. So now psychologically, you think that divine femininity or divine masculinity has to do with material things, have to do with riches and wealth. You think it has to do with being in certain places. You start to think that it's about being known and being accepted by certain elite groups. You think divine masculinity and divine femininity is attached to all of those things. Why do you think it's by coincidence or happenstance? Marketing manipulation 101. Do you think it's by coincidence or happenstance that they're showing you all of their material wealth? And I'm not giving any digs in what righteous people have, but y'all got to start paying attention. All of that is gain. That's a part of hypnotism. That's a part of subliminal messages. You just think they got them Chanel bags and the Louis bags and the glasses and the shades and whatever they have in their home, and they got sneakers behind them and coats, and some of them tacky ass closets. Some of them, not all of them. Some of them. I done seen some tacky flexes. Like, if you don't get your ass offline, that ain't cute. Yo, having 100 sneakers ain't no damn flex. It's not a damn flex. Read a book. Read a book, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, and then digest what you read. It's crazy the amount of us out here just looking crazy, sounding crazy, trying to have debates about who's supposed to be a leader or not, and you can't even pronounce half of the words you talking about. You don't even understand half of the words and the meanings of the words you using. Looking at people like your face done got, you just all twisted up, like you just, the whole exorcist. Can't even have a comprehensive conversation about you talking about somebody else. You talking about femininity. You talking about who's supposed to be a leader and who not. You speaking about emotional intelligence and all that. Check the manipulation. Check it. Pay attention to it. Check the subliminal messaging. Manipulation. Check it. Because if you don't understand psychology, you're going to keep on being psychologically manipulated. If you don't understand sight, if you don't understand energy, if you don't understand vibration, if you don't understand frequency, you're going to keep on being manipulated by people, places, and things because you don't know. What you become, what you consume. How many of y'all are getting wrapped up in all of this ish? How many of y'all getting wrapped up in it? You think half of these gurus will come on that come before you online will be as financially successful and abundant as they are, without them using manipulative baits and tactics to get you to do what? Equate righteousness with unrighteousness sometimes, to equate divinity with materialism. All while not understanding what it's doing to you. Not them living their life, but you. Right. Marlena, thank you so much, my love. You're welcome, sweetheart. It's just the truth. Like, we have to start being truthful with ourselves. And I don't say this to be malicious. I don't say this I don't say it in any other way. However, from pure love. It's not that my messages is not going to always be soft and just meek. I am who I am, right? And I deliver the message how I deliver it. However, my intention, if you understand energy, you will not detect any righteousness, unrighteousness, or hate. Jealousy, envy. If you understand energy do not lie. You can sense my energy right now. We're transmuting energy right now. You and I. Everyone who is here, we're transmuting energy. Divine, transparent truth is not always going to be desirable. And it's okay that when you're on this journey of mastering self, mastering your reality, recreating your reality, that certain people aren't going to favor you anymore. Certain people aren't going to like you no more. Sometimes this can be your family. Why? Because you no longer operate and vibrate in the same lower realm than they do. You can be right next to somebody and still be different worlds entirely. It's just like the sun, the moon, the galaxy, the planets. Yes, they're in the same galaxy. They're in the same dome. Wink, wink, wink. They're in the same dome, right? But they are not the same. People are going to naturally fall away from you. So understand that. That's different orbits. Aquarian, come on now. Help me out here. You've been helping me out. Thank you, my love. Come on. See? We're on the same frequency. Oh, yes. Understand it. Yes. Thank you, Chantel. This is true, Nikki. Like we have to be, the desirable truth is, the truth isn't always desirable. And I'm not speaking about opinions. I'm not speaking about perspectives. Sometimes I don't speak about, when I'm speaking about infinite truth, I'm not speaking about POIs. I'm not speaking about perspectives, opinions, or ideologies. I'm not speaking about any of those things. Because I know a lot of us get truth confused sometimes. The truth is the truth. And sometimes it's intrinsic. It's not something you can directly see that'll make sense to you, especially when you're seeing with these and not with this. Your reality, your physical reality is created with your five senses. Your intuition comes from your sixth sense. It's something intrinsic, is infinite, is internal, and many times it cannot be explained, no matter what word you use, no matter what language you use the word in. Understand this? So sometimes you're not going to make sense to some people when you're elevating. Y'all don't rock on the same block no more. That's just what it is. And that's okay. You're going to have some friends that come into your life, and because you're being honest with them, because any person you have in your life that's around you, that is not going to, at some points, hold you accountable to a higher standard, get them away from you. Because they are called enablers. They're crippling your growth. And I would recheck their intentions. I had a few past girlfriends in my life that stopped being my girlfriend because I would give them truth. I would remind them every now and again that, baby, that man don't love you. He don't respect you. Like, why are you doing this to yourself? And it's not in a gossipy way. It's not out. I'm talking about our personal conversations and relations. I had past girlfriends who stopped being my friend because I reminded them that they deserve more. I reminded them that their confidence is below their feet and they need to snatch it back. That their self-esteem is below their feet and they need to snatch it back. The message was always different depending on which person I was talking to, but that has always been me. I'm raw with myself. However, things like that will happen and stop being friends with me because I'm telling you, your man ain't ish. And he treating you like you don't ish. And you making all type of excuses and justifications. And you stop being my friend, but you still running behind that no good Negro. You still running behind that no good woman. However, that's okay for me. I've always been that person. I'm going to continually be that person. I don't have enemies, no. However, I do have women and men that just, not now, I don't even attract that, well, not now, but have in the past and some in the recent past that just don't like me anymore. Because if you think I'm going to let you in my space, if you think I'm going to have energy exchanges with you, even in a platonic and friendly way, and you vibrating on level 4 and I'm on level 11, baby, you either going to come up or I'm going to, okay, I'm gone. There isn't but so many choices. When you understand how to truly protect your energy, when you understand what that means, yes. Did I mourn a couple of their relationships? Absolutely, yes. But you know what wasn't a choice for me? To continually fuck with them. That is not an option. Baby, you can go about your business and skip on down whatever brick road you find that rocks and that glitters. Because I'm not going to be skipping with you. Remember, I spoke about your auras and your energy. Your your aura, right, projects, 3 feet around you. And when you're dealing with a person who has a very low aura or very low frequency, they're going to affect you energetically. You can expect to jump in a pool and say, hey, I'm not going to get wet. I'm going to jump in here, but I'm going to get out dry. Baby, that's foolish. And so this is why I teach self-mastery, because a lot of us don't even understand what's happening to us on a day-to-day basis with the decisions you're making on allowing people in your life and you entering people's life. And that's in regard to you going to a workplace where people are just toxic and y'all just not getting along. That's not protecting your energy. Yes, I do understand that many of us are not in a position to just about face forward marching to go about our business. Yeah, sometimes you got a plan, but you can't tell me you've been planning for 3, 5, 10 plus years and you still bitching, moaning, and complaining about the same shit. Meanwhile, you self-destructing. Meanwhile, you moving from level 1 self-destruct to level 2 to level 3, and the next thing is terminal. The next diagnostic you get is terminal. Your illnesses, your diseases has manifested and progressed to the point where now what? Sincerely, we ready to jump off the bridge. We're ready to prematurely transition. Ask me how I know. I've been there. I've been there. Not once, okay? Twice. I tried to transition out this realm. Twice. So I'm not only speaking from external wisdom, external knowledge, 15 plus years experience. I'm also teaching from a place of relatable experience. Why? Because I've been that girl. I've been that soul. I've been that person. I've been the yellow person you see up there, a target for master manipulators, a target for narcs. Yes, my self-esteem was below my feet, so I recognize it. My confidence was below my feet, so I recognize it. But you couldn't tell, not to the naked eye. Why? Because you couldn't tell because I didn't look like I wasn't confident. I didn't talk like I wasn't confident. I didn't project and presume low confident, low self-esteem energy, baby. I didn't. You couldn't tell. But I knew. I knew on the inside. And the more I kept lying to myself, the more I kept lying to others, the more I kept choosing not to do something about it, the more I was moving from level 1 to level 2, to stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, until finally my spirit doctor was like, you at stage 4 self-destruction. I thought there was no hope, baby. Ashe, infinite gratitude paradox. So I understand this. I understand. I'm a righteous being. I don't want to see genuine men and women hurt to the degree of that state, to the depths of hurt and pain and sorrow. You can feel sorrow, you can feel loss, you can feel all of these things, but some of us are so compounded. Some of us are in it so deep in depression, so deep in hopelessness, so deep in pessimism, so deep in narcissism, so deep in manipulation, so deep in weakness, so deep in fear, that all you can see is a glimpse of light. Y'all ever seen a scenario where a person is sinking in the bottom of the river and they have the camera and the further they go down, the smaller and dimmer and the narrower the light gets? That's how it is for some of us. A lot of us are drowning in stupidity. We're drowning in hopelessness. We're drowning in weakness and fear and disparity and envy and jealousy. We're drowning in lack of. We're drowning. And no one can save you but you. I am just a life raft, but I cannot make you want to save yourself. However, I'm going to continually give what I give, just to remind you that, yeah, you deserve more, but I cannot. You have to save yourself. Nobody could save me. Not even my 3 beautiful souls that I portaled here. As much as I love my 3 young men, they could not save me. As much as I love, I ain't gonna say love, as much as I like some of my siblings, because I don't, as much as I dislike I love them all, but I don't like all of them. They couldn't save me. No one could save me. No inspirational message could have saved me. Things helped. I had to decide whether I wanted to be the victim or the victor, because I couldn't simultaneously continually be both, because I was dying. I was just sinking. I could not be both the victim and the victor. I could not continually be in a victim state. I could not continually blame other people, places, and things. I could not continually wonder why I keep finding myself in these positions month after month, year after year. Why do I keep finding myself in these positions? Why do I keep attracting and manifesting the same type of situations, the same type of men, the same type of women, the same type of work, the same type of etc., etc.? I had to make a decision. Was it uncomfortable at first? Yes. However, I was determined. I think something that helped me along my journey is that I was always fascinated with science and the mind and the universe, right? And spirituality, even though I grew up in Christianity. I was a very rebellious Christian because my spirit and my soul was always like, something ain't right here, something missing. With all no shade to my religious folks out there, no shade. I'm talking about me. Something wasn't right. Something wasn't right. I've always been a rebellious child against just going with the flow. That is something that has helped me, even though I experienced all of these different things. And all of these things I'm telling you now, I'm past it. They're in my book, right? I'm a actual self-published author, right? Best-selling author. I was best-selling on Amazon for my first book for like a month and a half. That's, some of y'all may not think that's, baby, that's something. Okay. So I've always been a lover of intelligence and a writer and a student of life. I've always loved different. So that intrigue that I had, that inner, like, I gotta figure it out. Even though I'm sinking, I'm like, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna figure out how to paddle one hand, then how to paddle the other hand. I'm gonna figure out how I can incorporate using my legs, because baby, what's down there? I know I'm going down, but I know I don't want to be down there. So guess what? I'm gonna have to figure it out. And one stroke after the next stroke, one stroke after the next stroke, one stroke after the next stroke, learning, obtaining knowledge, practicing it, embracing the unknown, falling a couple of times, resting a couple of times, but I kept going. I kept going. I continually took one step in front of the other. I started paying attention. I started reading more. I started meditating more. I started hugging trees more. I started tapping into nature more. I started connecting with my ancestors more. I started detaching more, to the point where I'm at such peace right now in my life. Some of y'all won't understand what I'm about to say. Some of y'all. I don't desire money like I used to. Do I want some of it, more of it? At certain points, at certain times. However, I can honestly say that in my practice, in my transitions, I don't desire to be rich. I don't desire to be financially wealthy. I don't desire to have a vehicle, materialistic. I don't desire any of them things how I used to be. My identity is not wrapped up in those things anymore. And it is the most liberal. Do I have them things? Absolutely. Absolutely. But my identity is not tied to them. And I'm at peace. There was times when I didn't have certain things and I was uncomfortable. Extremely uncomfortable. Like, hold on, wait a minute, what's going on? Thank you for understanding. I know some of y'all understand. Thank you for the follow and the hearts. I see y'all. Baby, when I tell you, I'm feeling the most peace and the most joy and bliss I have felt thus far in my life. Thus far. When you get on a level, understand this. One who desires nothing attracts everything. Y'all understand that? One who desires nothing. One who isn't chasing after things attracts everything. Because that individual understand that when you're vibrating on a frequency of peace, bliss, and joy, guess what you're telling the universe? Give her more of that. Who's not going to be happy driving in a fresh new vehicle if that happens to come in your life? Who's not going to be happier when a man or woman comes into their life romantically if that's what they want? And they live in a beautiful life together. Who's not going to be happier when they get to do certain things, travel? Y'all understand what I'm saying? At one point, I used to chase those things. I don't chase those things. So whether I have them or not, and I have them, I still have my joy, my peace, and my bliss, even through the storms. Even my storms are beautiful. Do y'all understand that? Even my storms are beautiful. Is it always uncomfortable? No, it's not always comfortable. However, they are beautiful. And this is what I wish for those who want it. I'm okay with everybody not getting on the train at the same time. Yes, we all have storms. That's a part of life. That's a part of life. Thank you, big. Thank you, Gather Your Roses. Thank you, my love. Thank you so much for the follow. Make your disasters an inconvenience and get an emergency fund. Right? And so this is also what self-mastery is about. You take one step in front of the other. Because no mention of stories that I ever heard of men and women who climbed the top of Mount Everest ever ran up the top of Mount Everest. No man or woman who ever climbed to the top of Mount Everest just sat at the bottom like, oh, I wish I could make it to the top. Damn, it must look so beautiful from up there. Night becomes day, day becomes night. Mwah, thank you so much for the gifts, my love. Night becomes day. Next thing you know, they sitting at the bottom of Mount Everest a year later. Oh, that would be so beautiful. I wish I was up there. I wish I could experience that. Every man or woman who ever made it up the top of Mount Everest took one step at a time, one foot in front of the other. And guess what? Every last one of them had to rest. Every last one of them had periods where they had to rest. Understand that your essence, your physical, your mental, right? Your spiritual, your soul was never ever created to withstand such immense pressures, such immense de-evolutions, such immense devolvements going down. It was never ever created for that. Many of us are self-destructing at an alarming rate. And you don't have to, my loves. Queen 44424. Oh, you just got my book. Which one did you get? Attracting What and Who You Desire? That's the last book I wrote. I'm working on another one called The Seven Ships, teaching you about all about relationships. That one is really, really good. It teaches you how to it's a digital PDF version, how to attracting what and who you desire. Baby, that's gonna though, if you apply the principles and what I teach in there, you gonna get some things popping. You're gonna get some things happening. I also every now and again I also teach the class like virtually because I know like me, I'm a kinesthetic learner, like visual. I like hands-on, like I like the one-on-one, the hands-on. I like physical engagement. So if you're following me, if you text that number up there, just to let you know if any of you are interested in getting notified when I have master classes, that because some of the things that I teach, I don't teach online. It's going to be a small investment. Like my classes range anywhere from, I think the lowest I ever charged for a master class was $5. So I'm really not out here after your money. Please know that. However, I understand many things, and investing in yourself is a part of that. So if you want to be notified, become a member of the MOS family, which stands for Masters of Self. Text MOS to 1833-996-3032, the number that you see up there. And I don't bombard you with notifications. I'm not a salesy person. I'm not a pushy person like that. However, because I used to get a lot of DMs on when I'm going to do this and when I'm going to do this and when I'm going live. So I invested in a tech service. So so I can notify you whenever I do have things like that. I see you. Welcome to the Masters of Self family. So just when I have certain things like that, I can notify you. Like sometimes when I go live, I'll notify you when I'm doing a lesson and teach. Just like I'm relaunching my Rise of a Goddess Academy. It's an academy, a virtual academy exclusively for women. I'm relaunching that March. So anything exclusive that I do, private, offline, that I do, whether it's free or whether it's a small investment, I send y'all notifications. So you're more than welcome to become a member of the Moss family. I don't bombard you with text every day. I'm not pushing. I'm not pushy. I'm not on it like that. I'm really not. When I tell you I love my peace, I love my tranquility. I'm not really a marketing person. Perhaps I can get better with it. However, I'm not desperate for it. I mean, I do what I do when I do. The name of the last book, the book that I'm speaking about, is Attracting What and Who You Desire. If you click the link in my bio, you can obtain it. It's a PDF version, so you can just download it and start getting into it. My first book that I wrote, my Mastering Self: A Journey to Mental and Emotional Healing. That one is on Amazon. If you type in Venus, a Goddess, you'll find that recreating your reality. That's the name of my first book, Recreating Your Reality. The second book that I published is Mastering Your Divine Femininity. I'm gonna be uploading the PDF version up there pretty soon with my link and set of information. So that was an intermission. What are some of the other clickbaits that I didn't mention? Master manipulators. Another one of their clickbaits is gaslighting. They will definitely gaslight you, baby. They'll feed you. They'll serenade you with lies. And if you're not confident, if you're not aware, if you don't have emotional awareness, intelligence, and discipline, they will definitely be able to fool you and trick you, right? And just tell you things that you want to hear, right? Right to your face. And they just be lying, right? If they can fool you once, they can fool you twice. This is why discipline is needed. This is why you have to have wisdom, not just your compassion, not just your love, because master manipulators play on your empathy. They play on your love. They play on your spirit. They play on your tolerance. They play on your patience. And as soon as you give them an inch, I guarantee you they're going to take 10 miles. As soon as they hear out of your mouth, well, I'm just going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Now, yes, that takes some practice getting to there, because it used to be, I used to use the number 3. It used to be, okay, fool me once, you got it. Fool me twice, okay, you pushing it. Fool me the third time, you out. However, now, baby, you don't get a second chance to do anything. Because if you're a master manipulator, you're aware that you're a master manipulator. You're aware that you are unrighteous, unaccountable, irresponsible, unjust, self-centered, egotistical, self-serving. You know these things, whether you verbalize them or not. You know these things. And if you pretend like, if you want to play stupid, the only thing you telling me is that you're stupid. The only thing you're telling me is that you don't have the intelligence that's required. You don't have the intuition that's required. What you're telling me is that you have a child's mentality. What you're telling me is that you're not mentally developed, because you're doing all of this acting. You're displaying all of these behaviors, and then I'm going to allow you to say, I'm only human. I didn't mean to do it 5 times. I didn't know I was doing it. Baby, what? I know one of the issues is the consequences isn't grave enough, heavy enough for some people. Because let me tell you something. The moment the season you experience a consequence that kick your ass, that really take you out, baby, you would not be so hesitant and impulsive to do it again. I mean, does that sense, right? Does that make sense? Einstein couldn't tie his own shoes. I'm not speaking about tying shoes, right? We're speaking about manipulating others in an unrighteous and an unjust way, right? Ashe. You mean to tell me? So that's what you're implying. But only Boo Boo the fool or Boba the fool is going to tolerate that BS. Let me tell you something. You shouldn't need closure. You should not need a conversation. You shouldn't need an elaboration. You shouldn't need a discussion. You shouldn't need to hear not one iota of sound coming from a master manipulator's mouth to your ears. And you entertain it. You should not. This is why you have to, and baby, no. The consequences isn't grave enough for some of us. This is why we keep doing it. People only do what you allow them to do to you. It's real simple. So how do you look continually to bitch moan and complain, especially here on these worldwide internet, on the worldwide internet? My baby daddy did this. My ex-husband did this. My baby mama did this. My baby mama did this. And I can't stand that word. Your child's mother. You're continually, what is that saying about you? You allowed it. There's a big difference from saying you experienced some of these things, especially manipulation, in a short amount of time, or when you're saying, "Oh, I was in a 2 year." I'm not even gonna use 1 year, but 1 year is too much for me. 2 months is enough for me. That's just me. And some people that vibe like I vibe, rock like how I rock energetically. But however, let's just say 2 years. You are being delusional and lying to yourself. Okay. And it's not a flex. Okay. You're being a victim and you love the attention. When you out here professing how you spent 3, 4, 5, 10 years with a narcissist, with a master manipulator, with an abuser. Because let me tell you something, the undesirable truth is that you are responsible for continually allowing that. Remember, I'm not saying that a lot of these situations that people are in can be easily detached. Like, I understand that there may be children involved, that there may be finances involved, that there can be a lot of a variety of things involved. However, the truth is, when there's a will, there's a way. When your will is stronger, when you're vibrating on a frequency, guess what? The universe is going to send you help. Because the universe cannot violate its own laws. And that help is going to come in different forms. It may come in the form of people. It may come in form of just receiving sporadic money. It may come in the form of somebody offering you an apartment. It may come in the form of you being able to get away, if it's not like one of those type of situations. All situation is different. However, what I'm saying is that no matter what the situation, there's always a will. And this is why you have to understand, for those of you who want to learn the master self, you have to understand energy. This is something that I continually teach my eldest son. I also mentor men who are incarcerated, right? My eldest son is behind a wall. I hear the most tragic stories and the mentalities of some of our loved ones. Baby, when I tell you I shed so many tears, and my son he's still learning. However, I teach him, son, I won't even attempt to utter out my mouth that I truly understand what you're going through on a day-to-day basis. I would not even say that out of my mouth. I don't. Pardon me. I would not. I could not understand. I'm only hearing of things that is going on. And it's so disheartening that our brothers and sisters are literally being unalived. They're being treated worse. Like, they're being treated worse than the most unrighteous entity. I'm not even, some people say, thank you so much for the gift. I'm not even going to say that they're treat. Some people say, oh, they treat you worse than animals. Animals are souls too, and they're beautiful. What I like to say is that they're being treated worse than the most wickedest entity. Is heartbreaking. It's so disheartening. However, I have to, as a guide, I constantly remind him as much as I can without being forceful. You understand? That, son, energy is everything. That that system was never designed for rehabilitation. Never designed to righteously correct or inspire or to teach or to reform. It has nothing to do with reform in a sense in where it's going to be rehabilitating. Nothing. They are treated in such horrible ways. However, I tell him to pay attention to your energy, because the more you focus on, the more you vibrate on, the more you're going to attract these things. The more you repeat a story, the more you relive a story. And in many cases, is the story that you are reliving in the present tense is going to be worse and heavier than when you experienced it in the past tense. It gets heavier and heavier. Now, this is what I attempted. This is what I warned you against. Like, baby, you don't want that life. You really don't want that life. He wasn't about that life. I didn't raise him like that. However, those were the decisions. It was because of the decisions that he made. These are the consequences. I truly know that after this consequence, listen, I can smile about it now, but let me tell you something. My son done. Listen, it's horrible in there for many of our brothers and sisters. I'll just say that. My son was almost unalived in there, just jumped and stuff like that, because, some of it is because he made some foolish decisions. I ain't even gonna hold you. It's complete transparency and honesty. I ain't gonna divulge, the details of it. However, now that he's choosing to take a different route, now that he's choosing not to be a part of certain things, baby, just because you choose to be righteous today, you choose to do what you know is just, you choose to be responsible and accountable, and you chose the right path today, does not mean that the consequences that you done racked up from all the years of poor decisions that you made, baby, it doesn't dissolve them. One good deed doesn't cancel out the 1,000 deeds, unjust, unrighteous deeds that you did. It don't. And you also gonna have to accept that. You also gonna have to go through that. And guess, you don't get to pick and choose how it's gonna come. You don't get to pick and choose what type of ass whooping you gonna get. Whether it's a mental whooping, spiritual whooping, whether it's no matter what type of whooping, you can't dictate the type of whooping you get. And so I will always, as long as I'm on this realm, encourage people to obtain and listen to information. Just think 360. Every decision you make, apply the rules of chess. Apply the rules of chess. Know who you are. Know the position you play. Know what you can and cannot do, shouldn't do, right? And be 5 to 10 steps ahead of your component. And then sometimes ahead of your higher than your lower self, ahead of yourself. For all of my chess plays, I used to be I used to dominate the chess arena. Okay, when I was younger. I don't play it a lot now. However, I was a master chess player, tournaments and all that, playing against grown ass men and women, like with the timer and all that. Like, I was nasty with it, right? I was just nasty with chess. However, I still understand and apply those same principles to life. That is something, me learning how to play chess has helped me a lot in life. And my children know how to play chess. So whenever I'm teaching them, I often bring up, you know what chess is. You know how to play. You know what it is. You know it. You know if you are a rook, a knight, You know you can't be acting like no damn queen out in these streets. You know you can't go from the north side to the east side or the west side. You know you can't flex like that on that board. You know damn well you can't do that. You know if you're playing the king role, you can't flex like her. If you know you playing the queen role, you can't flex like the king, the knight, the rook, the pawn. It's not that you better than them, but why would you try to move like them when you're superior? Come on now. Why would you try to move and be like any other player on the game, hold any other position if you're playing the position of the queen? When you can finesse the whole board, why in the hell would you want to be a pawn, a rook, a knight, a castle? Why? Why would you just settle for just going in an L shape or diagonal? Or one box at a time, why would you want to do that? And some of us are acting like that. All of us if you are a divine infinite being, you got chessboard queen energy. You can finesse the whole board. You can do whatever you want. However, okay, the gag is you can also be captured. You can also be knocked down. You can also be wiped out. Okay? Certain positions in life comes with greater responsibilities. Riri, hi, my love. Hi, beautiful. Right? You have to understand that. And so whenever I'm teaching, I use these life lessons that I acquired. If you ever want to just learn something to keep your mind going, baby, let me tell you something. Chess is in the ultimate game of life. It will teach you so much. If you have any leisure time or something that you just wanted to get into, it stimulates both hemispheres of your brain. It makes you think. It makes you quiet yourself. Chess playing is a form of meditation. Peace and light. Love your hairstyle. Thank you. I do love like messy hair. It irritates me, Riri, though, because I don't like things on my head too much, but I do love this style. Thank you so much, love. We don't know how to play our positions. Yes, that can be it. Like why we have that queen energy. Using the analogy of chess, if you are an infinite being, you were created and portaled here with that queen energy, that superior energy. They just tricked you and lied to you and told you that you are inferior. That was one of the greatest lies that was ever told, that you're inferior. Baby, you are so superior in so many different ways. It tickles. It tickles me whenever I tell y'all, when you are an infinite being, with all due respect, if you have neuromelanin pumping through your veins, a bishop, yes, paradox. That's the one I was missing. I'm like, okay, I know it's a piece I'm missing. If you got neuromelanin running through your veins, baby, if your DNA got all that superior, baby, you are indeed superior in many things. I mean, do a quick check. Check how you're imitated. Check how you're copied. Check it. Check all the areas in which we dominate. Which we just flexing. Excellence. Mentally, spiritually, everything. Everything we literally think about doing, everything we're dominant. We're superior in what? Intelligence. They'll like to retract that. I don't even know why I did that. We're superior in intellectually. We're superior biologically. We're superior chemically. We're superior, okay, physically. Meaning this is what's inside you. Now, are we all operating with our fullest energetic potential? No. But that's not to say it ain't there. That's not to say it ain't there. However, if you're not cultivating it, you're not strengthening it. What's the topic of the discussion tonight? We're talking about manipulation. You know, the conversation sometimes just go where it go, Riri. Where we talking about manipulation. Stacy, thank you so much for the follow. Right? Look at it. Sports, style, swag, cooking, like the essence, soul, our energy, music, sound. Can it be used in a low vibrational frequency? Yeah, absolutely. However, y'all understand what I'm saying. Y'all, all of you who are here with me right now, y'all are intelligent beings. Y'all get what I'm saying. You are superior, my love. And it's time you start acting like it. It's time you sit down and be like, you know what? I'm doing myself a disservice. I am so much more than what I currently think I am. You just can't be superior and be irresponsible, unaccountable. You can't be superior and be the victim or the villain at the same time. You can't be superior being willingly deaf, dumb, and blind and docile. No. However, it's the infinite truth. You are royal. You are royal. You are so royal. So when I see so many of us, especially women, right? Because not to say that I don't, my core message and supporters are feminine. I am the feminine essence. I teach who I am, right? I say that to say, especially our women, our young ladies. It really disheartens me, and sometimes it's incredibly sickening to hear some of our mentalities. Some of us just willingly playing dangerous games. Some of us just being that yellow person in the middle, just an easy target, willingly being manipulated. All because you're fearful, because that's what fear is at the core of every lack. Fear is at the core of every lack. So when you're willingly being dismissive and have become so desensitized to especially men manipulating you, just people manipulating you in general, and on the other side, women manipulating you, what you're saying is that you're in fear of doing what's required to gain more confidence. You're in fear of doing something about fulfilling what you lack. What do I mean by fulfilling what you lack? If you lack self-esteem, you're in fear or too scared to do what's required to grow your self-esteem, to grow in confidence, to put yourself in energetic alignment so you can put yourself in certain places that you want to be in, so you can attract certain things, but you don't think you deserve it. That's what you're energetically implying when you're allowing men or women to continually manipulate you. Not only are you admitting that you're powerless, not only that you're admitting that you're weak, not only are you admitting is you being willfully ignorant, right? It's the truth though. I say it with all sincerity. It may sound sassy, but I say it with all sincerity. You're in fear or have scarcities in fulfilling all those things that you lack. A lot of us make poor decisions, right? And allowing manipulative men and women in our life who can financially fulfill where we financially lack. So you make all types of unhealthy, unwise, unbeneficial decisions and justify, right? Why this man is in your life, why this woman is in your life, especially when you are in lack with anything. That is the worst time for you to make a decision. That is the worst time. That is the worst time you can ever make a decision when you're talking about allowing somebody in your space. The worst time. When you don't have no confidence, no self-esteem, whenever you lack, whatever you lack in, right? And you're going to make poor decisions. So we're putting up we're tolerating a lot of foolish behavior in the name of what? In the name of what? We're all human. In the name of benefit of the doubt, right? You have yes, you have to be confident and self-assured. You really have to be, and it shows. You are an easy target to a master manipulator. He looking at you, smiling at you, complimenting you. Meanwhile, you saying like, I'm confident. And you acting like you confident. You displaying you confident. Your clothes, right? The way your persona is that of confidence, baby. But let me tell you something. They can smell your low self-esteem. They can smell the traumas that you're still dealing with. They can smell your insecurities. Master manipulators can see right through your foolery. They hear what you're not saying. Energy do not lie. You can continually think you faking the funk if you want to, baby. How do you think a lot of us, a lot of people getting got? And these are the same men and women. I know y'all know some of the examples I'm giving was you, because I know for sure it was me at some point. So I know some of these examples I'm giving, y'all can attest to. If it wasn't you at some point, or if it isn't you at this current point, it is someone you know. You talk a good one. How many so-called baddies or bad itches or boss itches, right? Or millionaires, beautiful, elegant, they walk, baby, you couldn't tell them nothing. And you would think their confidence is where Saturn is. You would think their confidence is where Pluto is, baby. You would think their confidence shines bright as the sun, baby. Why are so many of them getting got? The same goes with men. We hear the stories all the time. Why so many of y'all getting got? You so damn confident. You're such a boss bitch and all of these different things. You're so beautiful and you just too cute and you can't be taken to IHOP, right? And Waffle House, okay? And Applebee's and Cheesecake Factory, right? You all that and then some. Okay? Meanwhile, you being manipulated like Raggedy Ann, all down through, up and around the world streets for everybody to see. Baby, master manipulators can sense your insecurities. Okay? Certain things cannot be masked. Certain things can't be covered up. That's another thing we have to do, is be accountable for lack and take action to change that. Yes, you make the most dangerous decisions and sacrifices when you're choosing from a place of lack. Right? Just think about it. When you're desperate for money, what do? Choose a career or a job you know you don't want. Meanwhile, every minute you spend there, it's chipping away at your energy. It's chipping away at your happiness. It's chipping away at your joy. It's chipping away at your health. It's chipping away at you. It's affecting you in so many different ways. Right? Just think about it. We make the most unbeneficial, poorest, unhealthy, foolish decisions whenever we're in lack. When you lack self-full love, guess what? Guess what you want to sacrifice? Your physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, sometimes your financial. That's what you're going to sacrifice. Why? Because you lack self-love, you're going to not only attract men and women into your life in any capacity, especially romantically, who is going to validate that whatever you lack, that what you lack. And in this example, it's self-full love. So guess what? They're going to show you ain't worth being loved. They're going to continually manipulate you. They're going to continually gaslight you. They're going to continually string you along until you have not an ounce of energy to serve their purpose anymore. Yes. Right? So you have to, it's never a wise decision to choose when you're in a place of lack. I'm not saying it's horrible to be in lack, but because that is also a part of divine life, divine energy, divine frequency, divine polarities. It's impossible to have one without the other. So also understand that it is impossible to have joy, to experience joy without also experience suffering at certain points. It is impossible to experience the sunshine without also experiencing the rainstorms at some points. It's impossible, literally impossible, for you to know what love is if you don't understand hate. So you also have to understand that. However, when we're speaking about, for this evening, manipulation, when you're making decisions from a place of lack, you become an easy target for master manipulators. And baby, they out there like cyber snipers. They out there like cyber snipers. You know, there's still people hustling, tricking people out of their money online, doing all these scammers, cyber scammers. Okay, baby, they out here in these streets. They out here in these streets. Ain't nobody safe until you're safe. So you have to learn to safeguard yourself. And what I mean by safeguarding yourself in this instance, for this example, for this topic of discussion, manipulation, is to understand, one, who you are, understand what you want, second, and then understand why you want what you want. And then you can also Do everything you have to do to become whomever you're wanting, seeking, desiring in your life. Because until you become that, meaning until you vibrate on that frequency, you ain't getting it. And if you do get it, it ain't going to last long because you don't keep what you don't cultivate. Hear me. You cannot keep what you don't cultivate. What you feed will gain power and what you starve will lose power. You don't keep what you cultivate. This is why a lot of us say, oh, I had it, I lost it. I had it, I lost it. I got him, I lost him. I got her, I lost him. I lost her. Why? It's easy. It's real easy. If you really think about it, it's easy just to get, but can you cultivate it? I'm staying away from the word keep because baby, we ain't no damn slaves or pets for you. We don't need to be kept in that way. You're not a pet, right? You're not a pet. If you don't have the awareness, the information, the intelligence, or the discipline, mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, financially, energetically, to cultivate anything, any vibration, you don't keep it. That's a universal law, baby. You don't get what you don't. You don't keep what you don't get. What you don't cultivate. What you don't cultivate don't remains. So yeah, understand that it is a lifelong practice. Self-mastery, a lifelong practice. Healing, lifelong journey. Not to say you always got to be healing from a place of like brokenness and stuff, but don't think you're never, once you heal from something, that's just it. Like been there, done that, I'm good. No. Every level brings new awareness. Every level brings new unknowings. Every level is going to bring new opportunities, new challenges. It's going to bring new nuances. It's going to be different. It may be similarities, but it's going to be different. So when you're choosing from a place of lack, whether it's lack of love, lack of confidence, lack of self-esteem, lack of financial stability, whatever that may mean to you as an individual, right? A lack of intelligence, a lack of awareness. Yeah, you are easy target. You become an easy target for master manipulators. And that's just what it is. And then we speak about, and then a lot of us, we don't really understand that a lot of our conversations right now is centered around hurt, brokenness, pessimism, hopelessness. All of this talk that a lot of us are preaching. Oh, I want to be single. I don't need a man. I don't want a man. I don't need a woman. I don't want a woman. And I get it because you really don't need them, right? It's not everybody's soul. It's not every soul's purpose to be with a significant soul in this lifetime or for every season of this lifetime. So also understand that. However, for many of us, we lying to ourselves. You're just in a place of lack in terms of lack of inspiration, a lack of encouragement, a lack of optimism, a lack of hope, a lack of possibility. You're lacking. So because we've been operating in this lack for so long, now you think it's natural. You think it's natural for every infinite being on this earth to not attract a significant other, a soul partner, a soulmate, whatever term you want to use. You think it's natural not to attract that person, as if these people don't exist. There are some beautiful, infinite beings on this earth, men and women, who will be loyal to you, who will trust you, who will be responsible for themselves and for you, who will encourage you, who will inspire you, who will righteously, okay, confront you, okay, charge you to operate in your higher self, who will infinitely love you. Why? Because they do all of those things for themselves. There is not a shortage of beautiful men in this world. There is not a shortage of beautiful women in this world. Your reality is what you make it. You don't speak for the whole entire worlds and the other individual worlds. It's a shortage in your world. And you know why? Because that's what you're creating. That's what you keep cursing your life with. Because you're talking about it every day. You're talking about it all the time. You're sassing about it all the time. You're having debates and conversations about no good men, no good women all the time, about Pookies and Ray Rays and 304s and 808s and Dusties and low value and high value. You're creating your reality, and then you want to bitch, moan, and complain about your reality. Woo. And then y'all team up. Y'all get other sweet tarts and pop tarts that's just as low vibrational as you. That's just as pessimistic and ignorant and foolish as you are. And every day y'all on these panels just hating, bashing, envying, talking nonsense, arguing, degrading, emasculating, defeminizing. And you don't even know what you're doing to yourself. You don't even know you are cursing yourself in the worst ways. You don't even know how you're destroying yourself, how you're helping to destroy others, and how you're helping to destroy the world. If you want to stand in your goddess godship and be responsible, it is time out from you entertaining, feeding. Remember, what you feed will gain power. What you starve will lose power. Stop feeding the same beast you want to destroy. Talking about you just want to get your point across. Or you just had to tell him, you just had to tell her, and y'all going back and forth, exchanging low blow after low blow until you blow. And eventually, you're going to blow. Yes, misery loves company. It's sad, but some of y'all don't even know how y'all are destroying yourself. And it's sad. Because then you hire people like me. Sometimes hire, sometimes I'll just feel so empathetic to your situation, and I'll offer you, hey, just call me. Let's talk. I'm hearing it. How y'all self-destructing, just broken, especially if I have witnessed you playing a part. But it's all fun and games, okay? I got to make my list for TikTok. I got to be in this conversation. I got to be known. I got to get these coins up. I got to get these diamonds. I got to get these likes and shares. And my name got to be, okay, I ain't nobody unless somebody ain't doxing me on TikTok. If somebody ain't following me and recording me and talking about me, if I'm not that, baby, some of y'all dangerous. Some of y'all dangerous. I keep it to a minimum. This is a part of my research. Not all of it. 90% is a part of my research. I keep it to a minimum and a cap because I understand what you consume, you become. However, I never profess to know everything. However, I do know a little bit about a lot of things, and I know things that you need to know regarding self-mastery, which is the catalyst of everything and to everything. Everything you are, was, and gonna become, and everything and everyone you want. Self-mastery is a catalyst. Is the catalyst. 10% is entertainment, because some of y'all, baby, y'all funny. And it's a whole lot of good stuff too. There's a whole lot of people. Also, the other side of TikTok, what I call the other side, is really positive people, such as myself and other people like me that's that's coming and educating and sharing, and like, the comedy stuff and the, is social media is a beautiful thing. Social media is not the destruction and the fall of man, and it never will be. You know what is? People. Just like pew-pews don't unalive people. People that use pew-pews unalive people. Y'all have to understand what y'all talking. And some of y'all just be vomiting at the mouth. It's sounding real crazy. You don't understand what you're talking about. One second. Give me 1 second. Okay, thank you. I'm back. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Sound check, sound check. One of my heartbeats just text me. I respond to them as promptly as I can. Sound check. Let me know if I'm, because I know I came out and came back in. Okay, good. Thank you so much, my love. I had to respond. I call my son's SUN, my heartbeats. First, second, and third heartbeat. All a part of my rhythm. Um, I think I was talking about something about self mastery. You have to understand this. Oh, I was being sassy. That's what I was doing. I was being sassy. I remember. Yeah, yeah. It's sad to see. It's sad to see because some of the consequences that if you keep going, if you continue to go down that path, a lot the consequences are going to be more than you think you can, that some of y'all think y'all can bear. And in some cases it's going to be more than some of y'all can bear, because people are still unaliving themselves at an alarming rate, not being being unalive by others, but also unaliving themselves at alarming rates. Like sometimes we're not reminded that these things are also happening. Not that you should be fearful of these things in many ways, right? However, it's really good for you to stay abreast of what's going on. So how do you stop being easily manipulated? Gain awareness. Awareness is key, is the number one key in everything. Awareness, right? Acknowledge where you are mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, energetically, right? Really, and acknowledge where you are and fully accept where you are. Where you are is where you are. Fully accept where you are. Fully accept where you are mentally, fully accept where you are spiritually, fully accept where you are emotionally, fully accept where you are financially. Like when I mean fully accept it, yes, all of these things I'm about to share with you now, as far as some of the things that you can do to stop being easily manipulated, right? Stop being the target. Yes, it is a process, but however, that process, the the time frame for that process is going to be different for each individual. Transparent truth, it does not take years to heal. It really don't. Can it? Absolutely. However, if you understood or had the information you have, it will definitely help escalate, expedite the processes that you go through. So keep that in mind as I'm going through this list. Be aware, acknowledge where you are, fully accept where you are. Like begin to love. If you make $1,000 a month and your basic needs are met, fully accept that. It's not to say that you don't want more, that you're unable to get more. What I'm saying is when you fully accept where you are, right? You move from that lack zone. You move from that fear zone. And it's moving from that lower vibration frequency and level. When you're elevating in that, that's where you're going to now put yourself in energetic alignment to attract the things that you want. So when I say fully accept where you are, I don't mean settle. I don't mean you have to settle. What I mean is that until you fully accept where you are within those areas that I mentioned, you don't rise above them. You can only rise to the level of your mental program, your database, which leads to your emotions and your feelings. You can't rise above your cap. If you got a cap and a ceiling on a certain thing, like if your elevator only go to the fifth floor, guess where you not going? To the sixth. So when I say fully accept yourself, fully accept where you are, that's the only way that you elevate. That's the only way that you advance, right? Be accountable for how you got to where you are. Because playing the victim, baby, does not equal being the victor. And you can only be one or the other, not both. So be accountable. Take responsibility for the part you played, for the decisions you made. Be responsible and then do something about it, right? Then assess your situation. Assess why you keep allowing people to manipulate you. Get to the core of these things. And if you need help doing that, this is why you have righteous, just mentors that know something about what they're talking about. That's not after your money. You're gonna make an investment, let me be clear, but they're not after your money. There's a difference. There are some people out here that are righteously teaching you, right? And there's some that are unrighteously teaching you. And you can tell the energetic frequency of these individuals. Get the help that you need. You are not an individual island, baby. Because if that's the case, we will all be living in individual islands with nowhere across. We wouldn't even know you. I wouldn't know you. We wouldn't know us. Okay? There will be nobody but you in your entire existence. Yes, yes, it's stuck where you are. Yes, Riri, that is a fact. Thank you so much for the follow, my love, right? Assess where you are, acquire the information that you need. If you don't really understand manipulation, especially because you still in it, if you're still in denial that you're being manipulated, baby, you need some more information. You need to reassess your perception and association to manipulation. That needs to change. Because no matter how many times you say you're not being manipulated and you still being manipulated, okay? You can say that until you turn blue. It's not going to change the fact if somebody's still manipulating you. Therefore, you need to readjust your perception of manipulation. So you acquire the information, and then what do you do next? You allow life to do what it's going to do. You allow the infinite universe, you allow the infinite source of divine creation to bring to you the experiences via people, places, and things that is going to allow you to then apply what you learned. So you have to be aware, you have to acknowledge, you have to assess the situation. You have to accept the situation. You have to be accountable. You have to acquire the information you need, and then you have to apply. These are the seven principles. This is one of the principles. This is one of the principles and curriculums I teach. The 7 keys of self-mastery. We have the 6 pillars of self-mastery, then we have 7 keys of self-mastery, which is the ones I just read off to you. Then and only then will things change. What is love? Redefine what divine love is, especially if you never experienced it, right? Divine love is oneness. Divine love is divine feminine. Divine love is divine masculine. Divine love is nature. Divine love is water. It's earth. It's matter. It's the universe. Divine love is intuitive. Divine love is spiritual. Divine love is not manipulating in a way where it is self-serving. That's manipulation, unrighteous, unjust manipulation is not divine at all. And so you cannot respectfully say that you are divine love. You know what divine love is. And you are either unjustly manipulating others or you are easily manipulated. That's not divine love, baby. Remember what I told you. There are certain frequencies, energies, which we call by name, that are either on the lower spectrum or the higher spectrum. Lower level, root chakra, right? Lower nature, your physical nature, with your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, right? And then that's your lower nature, not lower necessarily meaning unrighteous. It's just your lower nature. It's your physical nature, right? It's your third realm nature. And the higher levels, the higher energy forms, you get to your heart chakra. This is where your heart chakra starts. This is where your throat chakra starts. This is where your third eye chakra energy center, where your crown energy center, and your ka, right? That is your higher chakras, higher vibrations, higher frequencies. That is the realm of divine love. Anything below that is low frequency, dealing with lower nature. Lower nature is not the equivalent to divine love, because it's your lower nature, your lower self, your ego self, which is again not unrighteous. It's just what it is, right? And so you cannot simultaneously be on the bottom and the top at the same damn time. That is foolishness. So understand that you saying You have self-love. You are self-love. While easily being allowing people to manipulate you in any shape, form, or fashion, or you being the manipulator in shape, form, or fashion, and you still uttering the words out of your mouth talking about you love yourself, you love people. Baby, lies. From the lowest of the lowest. Lies. They cannot coexist on the same realm, in the same realm, in the same room. They just don't. If you are in a room, right? And you cut the light off, tell me what light is shining. It cannot be both pitch dark and the brightest of light in the same damn room at the same time. If you understand what I'm saying. It doesn't work that way. Like, choose where you gonna be. And stop lying to yourself, right? Because you just only making a fool of yourself. Because some of us know. Some of us know you out here capping, telling whole lies about you, about that life. I won't forget this one young lady once told me, I'm about that life. He don't care about me. I don't know where I'm at, so I'm just gonna go freak off. Cause I'm good. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm like, and that's supposed to be a flex? I'm gully. I'm gully. I'm about that life. This is her talking. And I'm looking, I ain't even looking out the peripheral, the side eye. Like my whole head done did a turn like if my body language was just speaking, because baby, if I would have uttered out some words, honey, I mean, which I did, I'm just like, come on now. Like, who you kidding? Stop. Many people can imitate anybody. Just because you sound hood don't mean you may sound hood don't mean you from a hood. Like, come on, stop playing. Who you playing with? Right? Just because you sound intelligent don't mean you actually are intelligent. Like, come on, make it make sense. So you gully, right? You don't care. You a whole thug in these streets. You can just go sleep with a man, right? And just nothing happens. No coincidence, no consequences, no transmutation of energy. And you just like, you a whole thug in these streets. Like, it don't matter. You're not going to get feelings attached and you not emotional like that. Like, you a whole nigga in these streets. Nigga man, nigga girl, well, however you say it, ninja, Negro girl, Negro man. I'm like, really? Like, if you knew how crazy you actually sound, stop. Stop. Some of us need the hard raw truth. Like, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Like, the sugarcoat and got to stop. Some of us don't learn that way. Like, you need to stop playing with yourself like that. You really need to stop. Like, I don't know what you smelling, but it ain't great. It's not great. And you need to stop. Y'all need to stop. Y'all got women out here teaching women, talking about be a whole hoe before you get married. Experience all flavors like you in Baskin Robbins. Where they do that at? Where they do that at? And if you had the intelligence and the awareness and the information, if you knew anything about who you were, who you are, pardon me, I'm talking about on a spiritual level, cosmic level, quantum level, biological level, chemical level. If you really knew who you are, let me tell you something. STDs are the least of your problems when you are exchanging sexual transmutation of energy. Those who have an ear will hear what I'm saying, will sense what I'm saying. If you think you can just go out there and just hop in, men and women, if you think you could just be hopping around from men to men to men to men to women to women to women to women, and it's not affecting you in many ways, you are indeed foolish. So when I heard her boasting and like, oh, I'm a whole thug in these streets, like I'm gully. You don't understand. I'm not emotional. Like I'm good. Like I don't care. I can do this and I can just sleep with him and I'm like, first of all, do you even hear what you're saying? Like, would you even tell the man that you want to jump in bed with, the man that you're entertaining right now? Are you even going to tell him that you heartbroken over this man?
This is a reminder. Speak and spell your affirmations, Venus the goddess.
Are you being truthful with right? Are you truthful with yourself? You like one day hurt from your whatever you call one day hurt. Like, but you honest, you have integrity, you have righteous morals, you have standards. You about that life, you gully, like you that damn gully. Okay, tell the truth. Like a lot of y'all playing dangerous games. Y'all out here ripping and running and scamming people. Yeah, y'all must don't love y'all life. Y'all do not love y'all life. Y'all, it's sickening. These women just, it's sickening. Some of y'all don't understand what value is, what infinite value is, what infinite worth is. And that's sad. That is sad. And then we twist it in so many different ways. Put it in so many different what we call intellectual, elegant perspectives, as if it still ain't ish and still don't smell like ish. It's still the same ish. It's just in a different toilet bowl. And many of us don't even know how easily manipulated we're being. Why do you think we're hearing so many of these terms thrown around and talked about? I want a high value. I want a high value. I want a boss this, a boss that. I want a six figure this. I want a six figure that. Where do you think the conception came from? Right? You don't think manipulation, master manipulators are master influencers? Right? Y'all playing a dangerous game. Now, of course, there's nothing unrighteous about wanting someone that you're partnering with to be financially where both of you agree to be according to your individual and collect, not your individual, and as far as your collective goals are. It's nothing unrighteous about that. But to be boasting and bragging and flexing or thinking it's a flex of wanting to be these type of men and women. And some of y'all are paying people thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars even, to learn these scamish, manipulative, dangerous practices. It's dangerous. So that concludes our evening class. Okay, about manipulation. If you enjoyed it, let me know your aha moment. If you gained something from it, let me know your aha moment. Communicate with me. This is not a dialogue. This is not a monologue. This is a dialogue. I like communicating with you as you communicate with me. Want us reaching for goals most of us will never reach. Yeah. And it's just sad because like many of us, like we keep running on this hamster wheel of, chasing material wealth, chasing time, trading our most invaluable precious gift, which is our energy, right? It's not really time because linear time is the illusion, right? But that's a whole nother topic, right? Right. And we chasing around the clock, and we giving and we pouring, and we giving and we pouring, and we chasing these things, and it's destroying us. It's literally destroying us. And I understand people are going to be people. Nobody can literally force your will. You have to willingly choose what you choose. I get it. However, I do know that there are some of us who actually want to do better. Maybe they just don't know the all about the how to as of yet. And then these conversations that we have are necessary because there is an abundance of foolish conversations, toxic conversations that are going around. And so I want to play my part because what far too many of us are yet to have a deep understanding of this. Everything you do affects thousands of people. I will go into I'll do a video post breaking down the frequency levels, how if whatever energy you're vibrating on, let's say, hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now, let me look it up. Hold on one second, I'm gonna just break it down for you. Okay, this is it right here. So as far as like energy, when I say understand like who you are, when you're a person that's vibrating low, like say on a frequency of guilt, apathy, grief, fear, right? Let's say those vibration frequencies on the Richter scale is like 20 to 100. You affect other people because energy affects energy. There's a constant evolving of transmuted energy. Riri, thank you so much. Enjoyed the live tonight. Thank you so much. I feel like I'm getting there. I have to recuperate, but I'm gonna get through this real quick, right? So whenever you're enlightened, whenever you're more aware, whenever you the more enlightened you get, the more conscious you become, meaning the more elevated you become, the more consciously aware, the higher you elevate. You are a person who now vibrates in the energy frequency of like 700 to like 1,000, right? And you affect other people in the realm. They have done studies have been done about this where they've got like 100 or more people in a specific place and on a specific continent in the realm on the earth, right, in earth. I'm getting tired, pardon me, right? They did concentrated studies where they got a group of people in a specific place all meditating and vibrating on the same frequency, and they literally changed the frequency in another country. Like they did studies of this. Plenty of studies have been done like this. So I want y'all to be aware that every energetic vibration, every energetic frequency that you are on, it does not only affect you. And when you say you are divine love, because you are divine infinite love. When you say you have divine infinite love, how can you have it? How can you be it if you don't understand the vibration of divine infinite love, or hate or fear of what it's actually doing, not only to you, but to others and to the earth? If you think you vibrating at a level 2 is not affecting nature, is not affecting the planet, is not affecting the universe, you're misguided and misinformed. Divine love, being divine love, is also understanding that you are one with every other infinite soul, every other infinite being, every other infinite animal, an entity in this realm, righteous or unrighteous. Divine love, awareness of that, is also understanding that you are also one with nature. Right? Caring about nature is the same as caring about you. Caring about you is also caring about nature and the planet and others, because we are a part of the infinite oneness. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Yeah, you heard this one before? Yes, there's been studies done, my love. I asked them, could they find that Malaysian plane? Oh, wow. Manipulators know what they're doing and don't need multiple passes. That's right. Passes reflect my unhealed work. It does. It does. Yes, it's a process. Of course, it's a process. Everything's a process. However, your perception of the process, whatever process you're undergoing, right, is how you're going to go through that process. How you perceive a thing is also how you attract a thing. And so if you're in any low vibrational frequency, fear, hate, disdain, contentment, which is mistrust, envy, jealousy, any of those things, guess what? That's what you're gonna keep getting. So I hope y'all understand that. Patricia, thank you for sharing your God-given gifts and talents and sharing with us. You're always welcome. I do the best to come at least once a week. I used to come every Monday evening. However, I am readjusting some things in my life. And so sooner than later, I'll pick another designated day I'm going to be committed to, especially because I'm relaunching the Rise of a Goddess academy for women again, we're going to be meeting 3 times a week. So I'm in the flow and working behind the scenes with many things. However, infinite gratitude to you all. Infinite gratitude for all the love, for all the tapping the screen, for the likes, for the gifts, for your patience, for your time. Infinite gratitude to you for sharing your energy with me. It's always a divine pleasure. Infinite gratitude for all of those who have decided to support me by following me. Infinite gratitude for all of you who appreciate my content and the inspiration and the experiences, and my expertise. 15 plus years I've been teaching self-mastery, so I know a little bit about a lot of things, and I can definitely help to guide you to learning how to master self, therefore mastering your reality, so you can finally begin to reclaim your divine femininity or divine masculinity, and sometimes both. But when you're feminine, you're supposed to be dominant feminine, let lead the a lot less masculine, and vice versa. When you're male, you're supposed to be dominant masculine, less feminine. So it's a duality. However, I'm always full of gratitude. Thank you so very much for being here. If you let me see, I have so many things coming up, but right now I'm kind of exhausted, and I need to. It's a lot of work. It's what I do is, it can be oftentimes it's spiritually draining, because I'm it's work. However, I'm very passionate about this work, and I enjoy doing it. I also am disciplined also to know when, okay, it's time, because my nightly rituals is something, baby, to recalibrate my energy. Beautiful workshop. I highly recommend Rise of a Goddess. Thank you, beautiful. Thank you so very much. Yeah, she gather your roses. She can attest to some of the workshops that I have given. I'm actually in the process of creating a new curriculum for the relaunch of Rise of a Goddess. So it's going to be real great. So in the meantime, in between time, baby, listen, keep reclaiming your power, okay? Keep remembering who you are. Keep taking one step after the other, okay? Keep one stroke after the other, okay? Keep stroking, baby. Keep swimming, baby. Because the next thing you know, you're going to be on that other level. You're going to be at the top of whatever Mount Everest you're supposed to be climbing and reaching, okay? I'm rooting for you. Okay. I love you. I'm your inspiration, baby. I'm your sister. I do love you, support you. Okay. And will genuinely correct you too. Mean it. mm. Boogie Cowgirl, how are you, my love? It's amazing to see a beautiful sister who wants to teach you. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you so very much, Riri. It's always a pleasure having your presence here, sharing your energy. Thank you so much for your support, and all of you. It's just peace. How are you, my love? Peace, Sean. How you doing? Keep shining, love. Thank you so much. Thank you all, and I'm looking forward to getting to know all of my new men and women who supported me by hitting that follow button. I look forward to becoming more familiar with you, so I can start saying your names and having some personal things that I can say. I enjoy making divine connections. So the more I see your name, like the more you pop up, the more I see your name, the more I become familiar with your energy and who you are. And it's all about forging beautiful connections with individuals, whether it's in person to person, or virtually. The energy is still beautiful. So I absolutely love you all. See you next time.